Why isn't this song, like, used in anything frequently?
I use it all the time.
Like, it's Groose's theme, it's always like, it's either Groose's theme or something else. I'm trying to remember the other, like...
Like the Bumble fucking song?
No, the fucking... the Earthbound one. Like the one that's like, every time it's like a what?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think it perfectly encapsulates that feeling 100%. But this is absolutely, we made a fucky wucky personified.
Yeah, I have turned Everfrost Peak from Diddy Kong Racing into my makeshift theme song, just because of how much utility I feel it has.
Absolutely.
So why are we sitting here? We're back in the studio.
We're back in the studio again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So I was sitting there, kind of contemplating what it is I'm going to be doing for the rest of my day. I have the rest of the week off.
Oh, nice.
But I was going to be just kind of like using it to Uber, make some more money, and I'm still going to go do that in just like around 4 or 5, so about 2 hours. But originally speaking, I was in the mindset that I was like, okay, well, some fucking hot news just got dropped directly on everybody's fucking chest immediately out of the gate. That many said, not but a few hours ago. I don't know if you've been seeing the tweets that have been piling up.
No, I
will show you one in particular. Do me a favor and do not scroll any further in my photos. But I would like you to read this tweet out directly.
It has been slid across the desk. Okay. At Cyberpunk Game, hi. Before I book the 19th off work tomorrow, can I have full confirmation the game is going to come out that day? No take backsies. Hashtag burnt before. Hashtag can't wait. Hashtag Cyberpunk 2077. Hashtag Cyberpunk. With a response from at Cyberpunk Game, full confirmation. 8:48 p.m. October 26th, 2020.
What day is it today?
We are currently recording this podcast on October 27th, and it is not even 5 p.m. The workday is not even over yet. So, gosh golly, did I hope he didn't book that time off before lunch.
Oh, okay. So that's coming on top of like a myriad of other tweets that essentially have been spreading around as of late.
I'm so happy. Well, I'm not happy. I'm really upset because we both have one of these this week.
Oh, you have one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, no.
Is that why that joke that Arxis just made is in poor taste?
No. Well, no, that's just...
Oh, no, the one you told me about the other day.
Yeah. Persona,
which is worse.
Persona 5
I would say
Scramble.
Considerably, because at least I know mine's coming.
So it's in 23 days later.
But I realize it's not mine, because mine already happened this year.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah, so, because I was talking to everybody in the voice chat, the MHO voice chat, and they were like, first of all, poor Jose, shout out to Jose, I don't know if he's listening to the podcast from his workplace.
I tweeted with the picture, so no, I'm going to assume he's not. I'm going to assume that's a big no.
Oh my god, I feel so fucking terrible. There's one thing that man has been looking forward to all fucking year, and this like, and talk about a fucking year, right?
Yeah.
To have like the one thing you want delayed not once, not twice, but thrice, almost. Especially such an unusual fucking delay as this one that just completely came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was gold. It was done.
They said there was a whole. Okay, you know what? I said that. I say this wholeheartedly on Twitter, but you know what? It kind of reminded me of an event where I was like, you know what? This delay is kind of awkward and embarrassing, but it will never be as awkward or embarrassing as having a full-fledged 30 to 40-minute multimedia presentation where you announce several different projects all cultivating into one mega entity and then still delay the fucking game by 2 months even after you just said it was the final release. Can you remember which one that was?
I want to default to Fabula Nova Crystallum, but I don't think
you are very close.
Oh, I'm close.
Very, very close.
It's not...
Tip of your fucking tongue.
Is it Kingdom Hearts?
No.
Is it Square
Enix?
It
is Final Fantasy 15.
15.
Do you remember when Greg Miller came on stage stage and made a big to-do.
And he lied.
Yeah.
It was a much bigger version of Jeff Keighley coming out and saying,
you can play Spellbreak tonight in 2 weeks.
yeah, tonight, if you're watching this in like a compilation video in 2 weeks. Yeah. But, yeah, so that shipping issue, they ran out of Blu-rays.
No. Okay, so before we get, like, wholly on board with this whole fucking scenario, we've completely jumped the shark in terms of what was apparently supposed to be real podcast content. Let's slow down.
Okay.
Let's get back to our roots.
Okay.
Max, because I actually haven't seen you in the
it's
last few days. How are you?
How
have things been?
I am good, and things have been going. Yeah, I have definitely not been playing Persona 5 Scramble. It will not be for the foreseeable future. So instead, I've mostly just been playing like rhythm games. I'm at a point where there's not any video games I'm like clamoring to play. I really, really wanted to finish Suikoden 2, and just I can't go back to it because I took too long of a break. And so now I'm in this weird no man's land in between. I can also tell you, I definitely didn't play any Grand Blue Fantasy versus, even though a brand new character came out, because the night she came out, I went on and I'm like, oh, I'm going to play some Cagliostro in this game that supposedly people play.
Yeah.
And I went online and there were 2 people globally. So I did not get to play as the new $6 character.
Was that not
bought.
your tweet? Because I saw a tweet. No, it was a Street Fighter 5.
I don't think that was my tweet.
I think the tweet I saw was like there's 2 people, like, motherfucker, there's 2 people online and he keeps dodging me. Like, you can't do this.
It's like it just came out. Like, character is brand new. Where'd everybody go? What happened?
I think the worst thing about that too is that game was going to live or die based off of whether or not the anime like local scene was going to keep it alive. Because at the very least, you would have had like the 30 to 60 people that are normally online warriors in Discords going back to back.
Yeah.
But then like COVID happened.
It dropped.
And then there's no such thing as a local scene anywhere.
I think it got 1 major, and that was it. Before everything happened, it was released at the worst possible time, and not to mention that the online is really bad.
Yeah.
So that's not an option, and it's unfortunate because that character is really cool and really fun. It's a character that gets to do things in Grand Blue, which makes me happy. And they announced that the only Grand Blue character that I looked at on the wiki that I wanted in the game is coming, and that is Yule. And she is a fox girl with 2 swords and does ninja shit. So
I mean, you literally couldn't have packaged that up in a more Max-centric package.
All they need now is Sylvia? The sniper with the white hair.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring that up on my end. You guys can go ahead and look that up at home.
But yeah, so I can't wait to pick that character up and also not play her online because there won't be anybody.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a strong design.
Yeah.
How can you...
There's no character with a gun yet.
I tell you what, Grand Blue is absolutely the game that I see where I'm like, how can you make a design that's equally horny and yet somehow versatile and it fits?
Yeah, you just poach everyone who's ever worked on like a Final Fantasy Tactics game.
Yeah, 100%.
You just poach all of them.
That art style is incredible.
So yeah, I've been playing a little bit of that. Been playing Street Fighter with Jesse. I haven't been playing a lot of fighting games because again, the ones I want to play don't work, and like it's not fun anymore to defend like a whole genre that just doesn't function. And as a part of a smaller story, the battle director for Under Night went on Twitter and said, "We're working on rollback, and the process has been sucking, but we are working on it."
Stop.
And I'm like,
hitting
okay.
our bosses up.
Please stop it. Messaging Arc System Works. They get very scared when you talk about rollback.
I don't know why that's still considered taboo within Japanese, like the
I don't
Japanese.
know.
It seems like it's like that's the one thing that they evade constantly.
Especially when especially with Arc System Works, considering Accent Core plus R is getting official rollback on the 29th. Public testing starts.
It almost feels like it's like a universal, like kind of acknowledgement that, oh, well, if we work on rollback, well, that would mean we have to accept ourselves as an international entity and not just as the country that has good internet.
See, the way I see it is rollback is harder to implement than than delay based netcode.
Right.
So it's kind of like the Cold War. Everyone has nukes, so no one uses them.
Yeah.
It's what is that? The final chapter of Phantom Pain.
Oh.
What is it called when everyone like the idea that because everyone has nukes, no one will use them?
A deterrent.
Yeah, it's rollback deterrence. If Tekken doesn't put rollback in, then Street Fighter doesn't have to put rollback in, then KOF doesn't have to put rollback in. It's rollback deterrence. Which still doesn't make sense because SNK will put rollback in any fighting game except, God forbid, the ones they're trying to sell currently. But yeah, so fighting games I've been taking a break from just because I can't play them. So I've mostly been playing Osu.
He says
what
that
I've been up to.
He says that as I'm looking at a entire just batch of video games that pretty much they're maxed to a T except for one, which is Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I need to capture footage of openings.
Okay, well,
So
there
that's
you
why
go.
those are there for utility, not for enjoyment.
I see. Can it be fine here? Yeah, I think. There we go. Okay, perfect.
Mayhaps. You can also just full on grab it and just tilt it up.
Yeah, I
as
should
long
probably
as it's
do
pointed
that.
at you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been playing Osu. I've mostly been existing. I watched
Is there anything that anyone else can do at all nowadays?
not exist yet.
No. Well,
Yeah, you have two options now.
yeah.
It
It's very binary.
yes.
There's the 1 and 0.
It's 1 and 0.
Some would argue one is better than the other.
Well, yeah, and it depends. It's day to day now. You flip a coin.
Yeah. 100%.
I rewatched Love is War with some people again.
There he is.
And I have read. You can see it. I got all of them that were out because the discount was too much. And
Is
so
it the Love is War?
yeah,
That's a very all the colored ones.
yeah, all the colored ones.
They're very pretty.
That is now my favorite manga series. Period.
That's the one that's like a that girl.
Yes, Chica. Yes. Poke.
Yeah.
Yo, yes.
Yeah.
Still love that. Still highly recommend it. It was fun watching it again. Literally watch it.
My gal pal ish has been. She was watching Rent a Girlfriend, and I've been thinking about.
I have caught up on reading all of that too.
Getting on that train.
I think it's going to get really good starting next season. It's pretty good now, the first season, but it's going to get very good starting next season. Fucking, that was Duolingo. That was a Duolingo ping because I've also been slacking on my learning Japanese because my trip got delayed.
Your trip got delayed.
I thought they were kidding, but Duolingo just interrupted the podcast to yell at me. So
So did you have Duolingo installed in any device of yours?
No.
During the time that they leaned super hard into the aesthetic that the Duolingo bird is out to get you?
No.
Because that was my favorite, was getting passive-aggressive threats from my phone about not learning Japanese.
No, because before here I was like self-teaching, and then my cousin who has like a degree in teaching Japanese, like he was teaching me. And then I downloaded that two days ago, and now that was the first time it yelled at me. I'm happy it was on stream, so we all got to hear it. But yeah, other than that, haven't been accomplishing much of anything at all.
That's not true. You definitely accomplished one large project. It just was for naught.
That is true. There was one pretty large project that I'm happy that I finished and satisfied that I did. But that will probably never be seen unless
almost like just like a personal Like it's just like
Yeah.
it literally.
It was a spite project.
You know what it is?
And I got
It's
the spite out.
it's the beginner's guide for AMVs.
So you're saying I should upload it to Steam?
No, what I'm saying is I'll upload it to Steam.
Steam?
And then somewhere in the credits you'll just be yelling at me because I did.
You'll narrate over it. It's like, what was he thinking? Putting Haruhi at number 50. What was going through his head? I've been thinking about that ever since I heard him yelling and yelling and yelling about the number 8 in the other room. What and 15,537.
I knew I had to like knock on your door and say I want a podcast when I'm sitting there on my bed and I'm like thinking, should I just go out to Uber right now and just like figure this out? And straight up I hear games should come with a pizza tracker, and I said, okay, well, I'm going to go hit up Max in a second and see what the fuck that was all about.
So the thought process was, and I can't take credit for it because Drew was the one who put it forward, is that like Domino's, they've got it figured out. As soon as you know that a pizza is coming, they give you a tracker so you can keep track of your pizza as it develops. So games should have a Domino's pizza tracker, where it's like a game gets announced, bam, prep. The teams are prepping. You see it on the bar. You change it to like the Spanish soap opera one if you want to get saucy, and you get to watch. It's in the oven. Our code monkeys are hard at work. And then if something goes wrong, you know what Domino's does? They called me the other night. They're like, I'm sorry, sir, we're out of bacon. So both the sandwich you ordered and the pizza you ordered are impossible. Would you like an alternative topping? And we got the problem sorted. They told me what it was. There was full transparency.
I mean,
CD
it's the
Projekt,
perfect
they're
system.
not. There's no transparency.
It's the perfect system, honestly.
Domino's has it figured out. Everything should have a Domino's pizza
It is
tracker.
crazy to me because the Domino's pizza tracker came before the great Domino's Renaissance.
Yeah.
You remember that? Where the Domino's pizza was still bad, but the novelty of being able to physically watch your pizza get done by just watching some little dickhead chef on the screen toss a bunch of fucking things in the air and then like just subsequently put it in an oven, and you were like, fuck, it's almost here.
It's like
it made like pizza, waiting for a pizza, like it gamified it. It was great.
I remember I would do you know how much content I got on streams like years ago just by putting on the Spanish soap opera pizza tracker? I didn't even have to talk anymore. Domino's streamed for me. And now you're telling me I have to actually play and talk CD Projekt's video game?
Can we talk about how the span of your content creation career has been two ways? It's been either A, you put exceedingly too much work into it,
or you're
B,
looking
you've
at
done
the
it-
screen right now.
No. You've done everything in your power to automate the process.
Listen. They're adding an auto mode to Disgaea 6 where you can program all your characters to do it for you.
Are you fucking kidding me? So they're just going full FF12 then.
It's more complicated than FF12.
I would assume so.
And I'm very
would have
excited.
to be.
I'm very excited to have all that automated, but that game will probably also be canceled.
We don't have a podcast. We delayed it.
Yeah, that's the point of this. We're really just, in a very roundabout way, telling you that there will not be a podcast today, but there will be one in 21 days.
I had to turn over to Max and be like, yeah, what fucking episode are we even on? Like, physically speaking.
So we copped out, and this is a spinoff.
Uh-huh.
This is a beach episode. It's an OVA. This is the podcast OVA.
I think that's how we need to do it. Is we just this is the season 2 launch.
No, we did that.
No.
We
It's
did
the
that
season.
already.
No, did we?
Yes. It was the one with The Last of Us. Number 30. Yeah,
Then that has to be number 1. Because I was going to say, no. Let's not do that. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's launch with a delay. Let's do this instead. I like this idea way
the
more.
way I see the podcast is that you watch the podcast and then you're like, oh, great, I can't wait for the next episode. But in reality, the podcast was only there to sell you on the manga that is just the bullshit live streams we already do. Like, there might be an OVA included, like a little Blu-ray comes with your volume when you buy it, but there's not another season coming.
No,
it's like,
it's
but
just-
everyone loves the podcast. Like, yeah, well,
And honestly,
there might be a movie.
The podcast will just cycle back to us just trying to resell the Detroit playthrough over and over again.
Yeah, in a couple, rebuild. In a couple of years, there may be a Not Another Podcast movie that comes out that covers a couple of volumes, but it doesn't cover everything. And then it's a long period of dead silence, and then we get rebooted. Then with our kids do the podcast.
All right, so everybody, ladies and gentlemen,
that's what gets
welcome to the real season 2 launch of Not Another Podcast. We regret to inform you it has been delayed.
It has been delayed indefinitely. We're not too sure when. So yeah, I haven't been listening to much of any.
Cool. Tell me more.
There is something I can talk about.
Yeah.
So I'm not in, right? I'm not like in.
Okay.
I'm not in.
Sure.
I have to stress I'm not in.
All right.
But did you see the cartoon dog and the cartoon cat rapping with each other? It was very cute. I'm not in. I'm not in.
No, what is that one?
I'm not in. But when the cartoon shark and the detective and the Cthulhu monster and the chicken and the Grim Reaper all played Among Us, I'm not in, but I watched some of it and
what?
You know, I'm not in. But But Callie can rap. I don't know if you heard it. It's top of the charts. It was on Spotify. I didn't even search for it. But
is that what they're called?
The shark, Gargura.
She
calls her if you're a subscriber, you're a shrimp. They're her shrimps.
That is the most the smartest double entendre I think I've ever seen. Is that a double entendre? What would that be?
I don't know.
I don't think she meant it.
I guess,
but I read that as is that a new form of a simp? Yeah.
I don't think so, but I also wouldn't
put it past. Is this one of the ones where it's the English? Then absolutely, it's an allegory for simp.
If it is,
it is 100% allegory for simp. The only one that has even remotely got my attention was the. Is it the Big Titty Dragon? There is one with spectacular tits. That's it. Coco, thank you.
Coco, yes.
Yeah.
The Yakuza dragon.
Oh, fuck!
Yes.
Which, no, never mind, I gotta play those.
Her name is
games.
Kiryu. Kiryu Coco.
I'm getting further and further to the point where it's I might just jump right in at 7 and just say fuck it. Because I've seen... The thing is that I've consumed enough of Yakuza content by proxy that it's I get what the story is. I know what happens.
You should play 0 just because it is the best one.
I know. I know 100%.
The act of playing it is the best.
Right. And I get
aside
that.
From that,
but we've been trying to have that journey since 2017.
Yeah.
When we had the game, but a week earlier than everybody else. When that fucking bridge was still able to be crossed. What a beautiful year that was.
5 2 weeks early.
Literally cannot. There's not the only thing that could have beaten it is if I had my hands on a jailbroken PS4 and was able to play that remake demo back in December when it was fucking actually dropped, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. Man, so you want to talk about a phenomenon that I think I get and try to sit down and watch, and I finally get that feeling that you get when you're I don't watch people's other streams.
Yeah.
I finally got it because I don't know why the fuck people watch VTubers. It just doesn't so I think the only thing I can think of right now is because VTubers are so well, they're not entirely unpolitical. As we found.
They aren't.
No.
They are not.
No, yes. So I think it's just that in a year where literally it has been full of complete and utter bullshit. Having cute little anime girls scream obscenities, and then since we've already crossed the bridge of everyone said the N-word, it's fine. You can't cancel them. That was years ago. was wild. It's wild to me that you didn't know Corone like went full send on it too.
Yeah,
like,
no, I didn't like every syllable enunciated.
I think Corone is the one that's my favorite. Like in actuality,
The dog, yeah.
the dog is the. But then like, I also kind of feel bad for the OG, the one who's
Kazuna Eye.
Yeah, so the one who's still used on my stream specifically as a donation alert.
Yeah,
is her screaming "fuck you, fuck you, fuck you," and
she was,
and she's the OG, but like from a different standpoint.
Yeah.
Well, she's still doing stuff, but like nobody's fucking talking about her.
It's weird. It is like, so where I approach it is like most of the time I'll put on like the drawing streams or when they're just kind of talking, and it's the English VTubers.
Right.
I'll put that on in the background while I work on stuff because it is just sounds going into my head. Some of them are really talented. They're good streamers. They are just good, entertaining streamers.
Right.
Other than that, like I get watching clips, but God bless Corone. She streamed Crash 4 in one sitting, 12 hours. 12-hour stream. She does like 12-hour streams every day. I don't get content out of that until someone turns it into a clip show with translations.
Have confidence. No confidence.
So for me, it is a background noise thing, and typically I'm not tuning in for video game stuff.
I wanna go ahead and stress this isn't a you guys can't enjoy this thing. I don't know why you do.
It's an I don't get it.
I don't get it.
It's an I don't get it. I half get it. I'm a toe dipped in, but there's definitely you open up your Twitch subscription.
I tried. It was during the launch of the English one.
Yeah.
And the one I clued in on was the she's a detective.
Amelia. Well,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what her fucking deal is, but I think that was the one that I shouldn't have started on because that's probably the most aggressive one, at least in the. I don't know if anyone ever remembers her fucking intro, but like she was talking normally after a little while, and then she pulled out something and was talking about injecting people with drugs and a whole bunch. She's a degenerate. Okay, so that just went so that's why I'm saying it's like she was really weird, and I think out of everything that like I think Corone to me is the most because it just seems like it's literally just someone wearing an anime girl skin, which sounds worse in context.
No, not great. Everyone, I watched a little bit of one of those like first streams. Everyone's kind of mellowed out. Everyone's pretty mellow, and it's gotten to the point where it's like if I don't have the screen open, then yeah, it just sounds like someone doing a live stream and like talking. Like the character is like fading away a little bit, and then every now and then it's just like a
what's strange
responding
to me?
a comment. It's like, hey, where's your tentacles? I don't have them on because it lacks the computer. Like, but like a bullshit lore reason.
Yeah.
But everyone has mellowed out to the point where I can just turn it on, and it's not like screaming. It's not like, and it's not like a character. I thought that'd be really annoying the moment it's like, oh, so they're playing like fantastical characters. How for a long form content that feels like it gets old. And they don't do that.
Well, that's
it's
always
just a person streaming.
That's always been like the hardest thing I think when the first two character streamers I think I've ever seen ever were Future Man on Twitch, and then obviously the big old Disrespect.
Yes.
And one of those I didn't follow his content enough, but like if you go and watch his streams now, Future Man streams, it's just an aesthetic. It's not even like there's no full set in the character anymore.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't imagine putting that much amount of value into like that much time and effort into production value to get only the numbers he caught. Not to say that he wasn't successful at some point.
It was like a flash in the pan.
It was literally like a Twitch guy found him and said, "This is great content," and then it's kind of one note.
Yeah.
And unlike Dr. Disrespect, who, I mean, not only was he ground level, like he started in the Machinima days, but he's also controversial and appealed to the China #1 guys from the PUBG crowd.
Yeah.
because if you just want to succeed in this business, you have to be kind of racist, just a little bit. That's why back in the day, Lyle and I were completely fine with the original podcast for that podcast that shall not be named was slightly racist with Lyle and Phil, which in retrospect, really glad we went with Swagalagan instead. Yeah. So like,
but
like,
gamers listen.
It's if
you know your audience.
So like,
not you guys. You guys are great.
And that's the thing to me too, is that like I was trying to figure out, is it the character that's alluring, or is it literally just the fact that it is a cute voice with a cuter picture, and have we just come down to the point where the bar is so low that we're just like, please God, anything that isn't just some person flapping their stupid fucking gums into the camera endlessly talking about how they need more subs.
So you know me, and you know what I like to watch, what I don't like to watch.
Yes.
And that if it's not Scott the Woz, I don't want to see a person ever.
Fuck, we need to pull that. Are we going to pull that up now again? Do we have to pull the charts back up?
No.
Because we had a full on that was podcast.
That was podcast, and it was wasted. We can't recreate it.
Fuck.
The content creator alignment chart. Everyone, you're just gonna have to wonder. But typically I don't watch a lot of live streams. Really, it's Vinny, Vine Sauce, and that's pretty much it. That's the only stream I'd tune into if it was on. And I can say that I clicked the thumbnail for the first time because I saw a cute anime girl and I wanted to see what it was about, but I left the video on because I'm like, oh, this is just a pretty entertaining personality.
Right.
Like as the person behind the picture.
Right.
And so, whereas like you said you watched like Amelia's debut stream,
yeah,
kind of crazy. Now, if I put her on in the background, what I can expect is kind of like me, fake overconfidence that is usually punished almost immediately by reality. The facade of
confidence. No confidence. That to me is my favorite.
That clip's still amazing.
Like the Ekum Bokum shit is cute, but like
that clip is my favorite.
Yeah,
that and the rap clip,
because it is literally it encapsulates almost everything I've felt about this year.
Watching that English only Mario stream was kind of painful because I'm like, that's me. I'm that cartoon dog. That's me. But yeah. But again, I open my YouTube and I see it, and it's like 10 people are going live at all hours of the day for multiple hours, and they're all overlapping, and I'm like, how do you even keep up? How do you even what is like, you could start another streaming platform with just this, with how much content gets put out.
Don't give them ideas.
That's it.
Don't give them ideas. Although that does beg the question, would people people in chat, would you actually pay premium if it went premium?
It is premium.
No, but like on a like completely removed from a site, you would have to go out of your way.
Probably most people would, yeah. Because the alternative now is you buy your YouTube membership, and then you get member-exclusive streams.
Well, okay, so everyone's saying no here, but that's because
No?
most of the people here have common sense.
No, but I guarantee that if a website came out and all of them moved, like all of them,
I think that there would be people who at least bookmark it. Yeah,
bookmark it.
With the amount of we have a whole new. I wake up and I know when something is getting somewhere.
Yeah,
and I see a whole new section because as people may or may not know, our Discord has gone through a number of changes, and one of the major changes was, fuck it, Floppy and Ryder are just the admins, and we're basically the God Emperors. Occasionally say something.
So you never knew why the VTuber channel was called the Shrimp Hole?
No, I just saw that and was like, I'll just go ahead and accept it for what it is and move the fuck on.
Yep.
Because I'm not going to ask questions about something that I don't understand, and I don't want to be the fuddy-duddy in the room who's just going to go, you're just afraid you're going to take your job. I feel the same way I do about VTubers. No, actually.
Have a job to take.
No, yeah. Well, that too. It's like, hey, look, I work a full-time job and I Uber on the side just to make ends meet. I do this for fun. Isn't that fucked up? Isn't that just fucking wackadoo?
Yeah, my hobby is to wake up and then put a lot of effort into content and then make a joke tweet and then make a joke tweet in 5 minutes. And then have that be the thing that I put a week into a 4-hour video and then 5 minutes
that doesn't
into
get
a
seen
4-second video.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I've told you from the fucking point.
I don't want to make
from the jump. No. But from the jump, I've told you. I said, look, dude, the people don't give a fuck about like content that takes like effort.
I know.
They just want the funny haha.
But I do.
Yeah.
Well,
guess what? Here's a really great example. Wooly Versus, one of our favorite channels, and he puts a lot of effort in a lot of his stuff he does, even the Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Guess how many views they fucking average? 20,000 maybe?
It's because he partners with Racits by accident.
Oof. Well, that's not his fault.
That's not his fault. He fixed it.
Although, I mean...
he fixed it.
I mean, you know... Can black people really be vampires? I mean, like, let's be honest.
It's hard. It's hard, you know?
Oh, Jesus.
It's, you know?
Imagine that being the hill you die on.
It's like...
Imagine you wake up and you go, nah, I couldn't, like this, where does that begin? Where do you go, nah, fuck that, Blackula?
That wasn't his name in Billy and Mandy, was it? Was his name Blackula?
No, Blackula is the blaxploitation version of Dracula,
okay.
Obviously.
Yeah,
but like,
obviously,
you know,
yes, I know. What was his name? It was not Black. There's no way.
It was it Blackula?
It was not Blackula.
He's looking this up.
It was not.
Billy and Mandy Blackula. Is it actually?
I would have just typed Dracula. His name had to have just been Dracula.
It's just Dracula, yeah.
Okay, you guys sent me for a fucking loop real quick, though.
I like how the black people in chat were the ones that tell you that shit too. It was Blackula, motherfucker.
No, you can't equip me with knowledge that I just take into the future with me.
That's the setup. That's how black people do it now. They give white people false information so that they can run directly headstrong into the wall. And they can't find themselves out of a paper bag and go, guys, I'm not racist.
Well, thank you, chat. Thank you, the rest of chat, for saving me from ruining a dinner party or something. I don't know why it would come up, but... what were we talking about?
That's the one that's like the one power play that minorities have, is just the ability to just give false information to whites. To just send them on their way. It's just hope.
Don't cancel
Just
me.
hope on God. You're not going to be there to see it, but you'll feel it. Oh my God.
Yeah, so Nino is my favorite one. She's the Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, I haven't seen that
She
one.
draws. They're drawing streams. I put it in the corner and I
I'm
work
a very
on something
simple
else.
man. The lady I'm with has very big titties. I appreciate very big titties. I'll go with Kiryu Coco. But if I'm gonna go for a real, she can be the sleeper pick, and the real pick is gonna be Korone, because Korone is just too cute.
That's it.
But I will only ever watch chopped up edited footage
With subtitles.
I will never sit through 12 and a half hours of Japanese that occasionally breaks into
I cannot stress enough.
English.
I'm learning Japanese because I'm going on a trip. I'm going on a trip.
in your favorite rocket ship.
And that is why I'm learning Japanese. There is no correlation between Duolingo popping up and yelling at me. Duolingo popping up, it's like, hey, Corone's streaming, but you're not gonna fucking get it.
I do remember I do remember slightly that there was a time where it was like we were talking about. I forget what triggered it too, because you were like, there was just a day where we were having a conversation. You go, oh fuck, Japan is right around the corner. I don't know. I know so Destiny, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Which now I don't know if you've been around the MHO servers lately, but like I got thrown for a loop because Matt starts calling and so saying Zoe Deschanel now instead. And I've just been like, and it took me a while. It's almost as smart as when I got hit with like the Shaco Bell from Lyle in League of Legends. Don't worry about that one. But I was like, oh my god, that's so fucking smart. How have I not thought about that?
Yeah.
So let us know.
That's
so stupid.
That's fucked that it's in the loadout now.
It's in the loadout.
It's in the loadout.
Right next to Bayonara. Oh, Howdy Gozaimasu is pretty good.
Oh, Howdy Gozaimasu.
Oh, Howdy Gozaimasu is really strong.
Some excuse me.
We'll get to that. Don't you worry. There's going to be a whole other sec. We're gonna just come right. Goma Nasari.
Yeah.
Is the one that came from Coco Stream. Okay.
But yeah, other than that,
living your life, man.
Big nothing.
Big fucking nothing. Well, I'll try to make mine progressively less shorter or less longer or whatever, so we can get back to the content, I guess. I have just been kind of in a weird back and forth between the games I've been wanting to play and the games that I have been playing. And a lot of that comes down to the fact that I've been broke, and I want to go ahead and shout out to everybody who supported me either via direct donation or just game donation, because all of the games I'm going to be talking about were just gifted to me, because everyone really is awesome, and they're very cool people, and I love each and every one of you. I'm going to give a special shout out to Rafi for basically gifting me what I'm pretty sure is my favorite game of the year, which is Hades.
That seems to be the one.
Hades
Everyone is very happy with Hades.
Hades is probably the best roguelite, I guess is the correct terminology instead of roguelike, because apparently it is not.
It's not like Rogue. It's roguish.
Roguish, just a little bit. I have never had a game pull me into its story and its universe so fast. And yet make the idea of death feel like true progression. Because like that's the biggest problem with like roguelites in the era, or just the roguelike genre, is the idea that it's just like, okay, the gameplay loop is get in, get out. But like when you die, it feels like a massive just kick in the dick. And it just very, very slowly you're supposed to learn the systems and get right in. It's why I couldn't get into Binding of Isaac, but loved watching Binding of Isaac speedruns.
Yeah.
It was because like there was so much to learn about that game, but you just couldn't, because you had to like play the game way more times necessary to do so. Whereas in Hades, there's like an actual viable sense of progression where there's unlockable weapons. There's a level up system that is kind of like rudimentary, but it gets you there. And then generally speaking, the concept is just built. It's built into it. Like it expects you to die in a sense.
Yeah.
And because of that, like a lot of the story beats are behind particular deaths. And it is nuts to me how in 50 hours of gaming, I have maybe run into a repeatable line once.
Yeah, it seems to solve my biggest problem with roguish games. I'm calling them roguishes now.
Rogues.
And that is, I pick the game up and I do a run. I'm like, oh, that was pretty fun. And then I get back to whatever the base is or the main menu, and it's like, oh, you can now randomly find these items again in your next run. And then I go, oh, cool. And then I do a second run. I'm like, oh, that was kind of like the first one.
Right.
I think I get it. Close, uninstall, and like I'm done with it. Like I have just, okay, that's the loop. Cool.
Right.
And Gungeon was the only one that I enjoyed the loop enough to play like multiple times. But usually I boot it up, I do 2 runs. I'm like, okay, I get it. Close, see you later. Whereas Hades definitely does seem to have more going on. And I definitely want to try it. But I don't know if I'll just have like a delayed, okay, I get it. Because I've already seen a lot of the dialogue. I now know that this is just the way that the gods look now. And everyone has to hold that. This is just their designs now.
So there is a person in chat right now that I don't want to call out because they had a very hot take that I don't think anybody agreed on, and that's that they don't like Supergiant's art style. And I think that they're completely open to have that conversation. Like, they are open to have that opinion.
For Hades specifically, or for all their games?
In general.
Because they're all so radically different.
And, yeah. But, like, Hades, I think they were saying...
Fair enough.
You know. So, well, he decided to call himself out anyways. But, like, I cannot get over... I think one of my favorite videos on YouTube right now is from Shenpai, who it's just 17 and a half minutes of her literally simping to every character that's on screen. And of course she is, because have you fucking seen Dionysus? How do I say it? Dionysus? Have you seen that man?
It's very handsome.
Have you beheld his dark grace? And then get hit with the cross-up of the Aphrodite, and you're just like, I thought I was just straight.
And then you show up to Chaos's house, and it's like, you're an SMT boss. You're in the wrong game, buddy. Where did you come from?
And he's just sad.
Yeah, he's just sad. He's just sad.
Like, everybody kind of forgot me. He's the last pick at the fucking Olympus dodgeball trials.
Like,
you know?
I'm just chilling. Thanks for visiting. And you're like, all right.
Don't mind me. It's like I'm the fucking beginning of everything or whatever.
Yeah. I saw a good video on Hades by Mr. Weedman, George Weedman of Super Bunny Hop fame. Who has now, I guess, fully transitioned into educational content about video games.
Cool.
And tying things back to, like, history and stuff.
Yeah.
So he has a very good Hades video as well of why some of those designs are not as far-fetched as you might think, and how, like, a bunch of games choose to represent Greek mythology, and I forget what the name of the video is, but it's the other major topic of it.
I think my favorite thing about how the game represents Greek mythology in and of itself is that it kind of looks at things, it perceives things in a way that most people can generally perceive them, in the sense of, like, Olympus is kind of fucked, and Hades always seems like the guy who has shit under control.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of the things that people do, like all the other gods, are kind of fucking just up, like, fucked in the head, and Hades is very aware of that, and he's like, fuck those dudes.
he's the guy who got demoted to middle manager, and he still retains, like, all of his skills from when he was higher up.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to go higher up again because he knows those guys are assholes, and he's happy just managing his tiny little blockbuster up in Alaska.
Yeah. No, 100%, and he's very good at it.
He's very good at it.
He's very good at it.
I think it's a movie theater now, or something. Campsite.
That game keeps throwing systems at you that is not, it doesn't feel like it's weird. I just recently, like, I knew that there was a friendship system.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was a romance system too, for 3 characters, and I was like, oh, and there's bisexual romances too, and you're just like, this is crazy. Like, this is nuts. How, like, I feel like I'm unlocking newer systems, and I just unlocked a ranking system that they straight up said was just for pride, but it's there if you want it. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, there is so much in this fucking game, and it just keeps throwing more shit. And then you beat the game 10 times, which is the true ending.
Yeah.
Then you get it, and you show up, and the game is still going, and the person and all that shit is happening, and they're like, okay, we have a new plan, and you're like, oh, there's an epilogue that just requires another amount of wins, and now it's like there's an in-canon, in-universe reason to keep playing the game, and it's still advancing? What is happening? I saw credits roll.
It is a very nebulous game to me. It's what it is. It is the way I see other people look at Disgaea, where you look at that hub and you look at how many options it gives you and how many fucking characters are talking and how many menus there are, and you're just like, not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah.
Hades is a not today game for me. It's very interesting and very cool, but yeah, the idea that it just keeps going and going, there's so much there, is like its biggest selling point. But right now, I look at that, I'm like,
No. I can promise
today.
you. I can promise you, it is not like that, where it's like it throws everything all at you once.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's its biggest strength, is that it's like, it almost feels like the game expects you to do, like, I've done like 50 attempts, and I've only completed it like 14 times.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of almost expects that. So, and it's weird how the game seems almost perfectly balanced to do that, to make every attempt feel like you're almost there, and like there are slight variations to the attempts, and then apparently, well, like also where basically once you beat the game, there is a whole thing where it's like, okay, now there's a pact of punishment where now Hades is just straight up pissed that you left once.
Yeah.
So in order to make the like you could walk out and you can get more rewards, but you have to add like, oh, now characters can take a hit before they take damage. Now you have to operate off of a fucking timer, like a 9-minute timer in every world. So you have to beat the whole level in 9 minutes.
So it adds challenges.
Challenges, and then there's one that's just straight up adds new techniques, and then you can keep adding onto that. So it's like, then, like apparently during the Hades boss, like Cerberus, you don't fight Cerberus at all. But if one of those technique things go up, he starts literally throwing Cerberus at you in the final boss, and you're just like, what the fuck? So like, there's a lot going on. And it feels perfectly paced. As someone who really, really enjoys replay, like replaying through a lot of games, like replay valve is my biggest thing. It's the perfect game for me.
Yeah.
And I think that like, there's two things I really, really look for in a game. Is that gameplay loop fun enough for me to keep going back to it? Is there a progression during that gameplay loop that makes me feel like it's worth keeping going forward?
Yeah.
And that game is the perfect example of like how to take everything about the things that I love about games and just quantify it. Other than that, because I've listened to too much shit that I don't want to talk about it.
Pretty much, yeah, fair enough.
So like where it's like you are always watching something new, I'm always listening to something new. Most of the times that I listen to stuff, it's because our wonderful people here on stream will come to a View from Up Here stream, which apparently will not be the case, even though the DMCA police haven't shown up to our door yet because we're not popular enough. But boy, howdy, I'm waiting for that email.
God, hey, enjoy the last podcast.
Yeah,
Fuck.
But like I've listened to a lot of really cool shit, but we'll just move on.
Have you looked at anything with your eyeballs?
I want to say I've been discovering new content creators. Oh my god. Okay. I do have one fucking channel I want to shout out, and I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay.
And it's not for the reason, and I promise you, it is not at all.
I'm not in. I'm not saying I'm in.
No. I am unfortunately fully on board. So, do you know you are familiar with Gachamuchi, right?
Yes.
And you were familiar with the number of gay porns that they use.
Yes.
There is now a YouTube channel that is just called the Catalina Collection, that is just those movies with all the porn cut out. So it's all of the beautiful bad gay porn acting.
That's pretty amazing.
And it's fucking phenomenal. It like where all those memes come from, like, oh shit, I'm sorry, like all that, like there's more.
What a treasure trove of resources.
Yeah.
Waiting to be mined.
Yeah.
And
it's
refined.
And I thought it was just like those are genuinely fun to sit down and watch, just to see the audacity of certain oh my god, it is so funny. I see someone's asking for the link already. It's called the Catalina Collection. Boy band, look that up. And then you can find it. It is hilarious. It's the funniest fucking thing. And yeah. I'm not gonna read out loud what he said in chat, but that's there. No, that one is there.
If I'm entering the Twitter meme game, I guess
you better load up.
I gotta start loading up on all sorts of source material.
I know there's been a couple of other content creators that I've been kind of like on and off watching, but I think my biggest problem so far is that I have been I'll find a cool video and then like it. and then it just sits in my likes, and my likes are like a repository for things
Your likes scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
As someone who will like a video and then immediately put it into a playlist that are categorized alphabetically and by genre and by length.
I went through my like list the other day, and it is a literal time capsule. Like, I can tell you exactly where I was when I liked and saw that video.
Yeah, yours is a linear timeline.
It describes who I am to the T, and it's like I think I subscribed to somebody the other day. I'm trying to figure out who the fuck it was. I did have recently a new sub notification, or like a home notification, not a sub notification. Like, the home screen has been showing me some pretty weird stuff lately. Or like the YouTube home screen, where it's like, hey, recommended.
Yeah.
Sam Hyde's back. I know you don't know who that is. People will know who that is.
I was like,
and he's got a whole new new pill channel he's got.
Oh.
Where it's just him. So you know Sam Hyde as it's that one white guy that everyone uses his photo to be like, this is the shooter from the active shooter.
Isn't he working on that game with the Yandere emulator, right? That one that the kids talk about.
Yeah,
that
no. The last video I saw of him was him literally just it might as well be a 17 and a minute half video of him complaining about getting canceled. And him going, don't talk about politics. Guys, you don't want to get canceled.
Fair enough.
Guys, you don't want to get beat up. So I thought that was interesting. But other than that, the other game that I've been gifted in playing from another set of my friends who really are into that stuff is Phasmophobia.
That's the newest streamer game. It's the newest funny streamer game.
Newest funny streamer game.
This one's a spooky streamer game.
Yep.
It's October.
Yep, and I think that it has a lot of really cool ideas and a lot of really neat things, and it's got the one jump scare. And that's about it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's Slender Man. He got you.
No, there's a lot more to it.
bad.
I mean, it's so the whole idea is that it's traditionally a ghost hunting game, and it's made in Unity, so a lot of the assets look very rudimentary and elementary, but it's still cool, and the concept is very simple. It's like you walk into a place, you get like, hey, this is the name of the ghost, this is what they are. Go in there and find out what kind of ghost it is. Here's a couple of tools you can bring in with you. You have to buy the tools, and as you level, there's a leveling system. You can level up, and you can get things where it's like, okay. You can upgrade from it's not just a handheld camera that you can turn on and put on a fucking sink or somewhere to watch a door. Now you can just walk in with a camera on your head constantly, and then whoever's back in the truck can keep looking through, and then like spot ghost orbs, and they can also see the ghost easier than you can. And the idea, the big selling point of the game is that your mic is always hot, no matter what. Because there's a push to talk function, but your mic is always hot for the ghost. So the ghost can hear you. And the ghost hears you all the time, regardless of whether or not you're talking or like using your push to talk. And what ends up happening is that if there is a situation where the ghost is walking around, called a hunt mode, it shuts off all radio communication. So if someone is outside, like in the truck,
yeah,
you can't hear anything. All they'll hear is a door lock, which is the front door to the area. Lock, and they'll just go and they'll look up, and on their fucking little screen they'll see ghost activity jump to 10, and they'll just be like, oh fuck, and then they have to look at the screen at someone else's like for the progress or the status screen,
yeah,
and then if it's just a giant question mark, they go, oh fuck, Bill's dead. So
that sound the part where you're either the ghost or the person in the van sounds interesting.
Or like the people going out to see the ghost, or the people going to go. So so it's like you're hunting a ghost. There's four people on a team.
Yes.
One of you can choose to stay behind, and the reason you do that is because the idea is you're trying to get evidence to define what kind of ghost it is. So it can be a poltergeist, an onryo, a fucking demon, like it just, and they all have different things that they end up doing, and different reasons for like being, and like that part is really cool, and I think they need to, once they expand on that part, it's going to be a really cool fucking game, because I do like the idea that you can tell a poltergeist out by the fact that he'll just throw shit at you. Like, you'll just walking around and just, like, shit will be thrown at you.
That's what kind of ghost this one is.
So, funny you say that, you can do that. And the ghost will respond to negative comments. And one of the major comments that it will respond to is, I'm scared. And it will target that player specifically.
No one plays as the ghost?
No. The ghost is a NPC.
Oh, I thought it was an asymmetrical thing where one person's a ghost.
No, the system is listening to you talk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a very different game.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
So we had a friend who is a crying, shitting, pissing piss baby, and he kept talking about, like, in chat, like, with fully just out. So there's, like, the radio chat, which is, like, not as easy to see, but then there's, like, proximity chat, which in order for the ghost to hear you have to go in proximity chat. And then, like, you'll say things like, hey, is anyone here? Is there someone here? Or to be like my friend and be like, hey, yo, Catherine, you bitch-ass ghost? Like, where the fuck you at? Trying to get my nut sucked. And then that same person, you hear a phone ring, which, as I've basically found out, is the de facto, motherfucker, I'm in here. You better shut the fuck up. Because saying that, just like in traditional, like, canonical ghost adventure lore, if you say a ghost name, it will be very fucking pissed. And it'll try to do something to you.
Yeah.
So the idea is that once that happens and you start just screaming its name, and then certain ghosts will only respond to you if you're alone. So the play is find out where it is, try to get photographic evidence of it, try to get, like, some kind of evidence, and the idea is you're trying to build up evidence, and certain ghosts will be like, okay, this ghost will have will bring the room to freezing temperatures. This ghost will write something in particular on the ghost book. And then you use that evidence to like, click it into a book, and then you go, okay, that's the ghost. Like that, and then you go, and then you win the game by leaving.
Yeah.
And you just, hey, you got it. It was an Onryo. It was one of these. It was a poltergeist. It was cool.
This sounds like a PS2 game.
Yeah, and it looks like it.
But the tech, like, works?
Yes.
Okay, because I remember, wasn't there, like, a game where the whole thing was, like...
Lifeline? You're talking about Lifeline.
I think I just set up Lifeline, but I wasn't thinking Lifeline.
No, it was Lifeline. It's the one with the blonde girl.
That's the one where you have to tell her what to do. But I feel like
Yeah.
there was one that, like, it was a horror game that listened to you, but it, like, kind of... Maybe not. Maybe I'm not thinking of anything.
There were games that used the Kinect functionality that would do that. I know there was one horror game that tried to do that and it didn't work as well.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
The game it did work spectacularly and that was really fucking aggravating was the fucking the Splinter Cell game that came out where you could just be like, "Hey, over here," and, like, you know, cause people to so people would walk into my room and go, "Hey, what's up?" And motherfucker would come running to me and be like, "Ah, bitch!"
I also wasn't thinking of binary domain viewers at home.
Ah, the GOAT. The real Yakuza game that I've played and loved to death, to bits.
So, you know where my brain goes?
What's that?
What's the Phasmagoria?
Phasmophobia.
So, in the way that Dead by Daylight has become, like, a roster of, like, horror movie greats.
Yeah.
Phasmophobia needs to have all of the Ghost Show protagonists as playable characters.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
I want to play
I
as
want to be Zach Baggins.
I want to play as the Ghost Brothers.
Yes.
I want to be Zach Baggins. I want to be the Ghost Hunters, Adventurers, Brother. I want every variation.
Yes.
I want to play as the old woman that doesn't go in the house because she knows, but she's definitely in every interview, and they just keep bringing her back with different makeup. I want the whole cavalcade of, like, D-tier ghost celebrities.
Right. So a writer is saying in chat it's being made by a single dude. I think that after it being the most concurrently played horror game on Steam right now, the guy can afford to get a team. 100%. And I think it's necessary at this point. Because, like, now... Because my thing is this. I think it's really cool in concept, and I think for what it is right now, it's really fun. But after a little while, you just gamify it, and it's just like all the atmosphere and the scares kind of just melt away. And I'm someone who's like, easy to scare, but I consume horror content. Like,
Yes.
I'm not the kind of person where it's like, oh, I won't do it. It's like, no, I'll willingly go into wanting to get scared. And there are times, there are only like a few times where a game has fucked with me really hard. Visage was one, because I really don't like ghosts. And that's when I heard about Phasmophobia, I was like, this seems like a game that would make me piss myself. And once you see the jump scare, that's the one. That's it.
Not even the different ghost types of different...
Not even the different ones. So my thing is, I think that game needs to be rebuilt a little bit. First and foremost, I think the idea that you walk in and you have an approximate knowledge of the ghost is crazy. You should have a full-on ghost adventure. You should be casing the joint, figuring out the history.
There should be a 3-hour build-up where you're driving around the town, interviewing people L.A. Noire style.
I think that's what's going to happen is that because of this game's success, the AAA market will look and try to do something similar, and that's where I think that they could have the resources to do something like that. Because it's like, I think that would be the one where it's like, I don't like going in and knowing the thing's name. I want to find out what happened and then piece together and then come in and then buy the things I think I need to use and go, okay, I think I have an idea of what this is.
You show up in the morning and you case the place.
Right.
Then you go and you do your ghost shopping and then you come back at night to get the proof.
Yeah. Like, that's cool. Like, that to me is the ultimate
but everyone already bought it, so no. No. Doesn't it feel like that's every multiplayer game that's come out recently? It's like, made by a relatively small team, ambitious ideas, interesting, kind of jank, needs a bigger team.
Well, that's the thing.
Can be definitely improved upon.
Well, that's the problem, is that you look at the indie game market, and they're the ones doing really amazing ideas, but it's the one. And then you look at the fucking AAA market, and they're doing everything, and it's not good.
There's no amazing.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's like, for me personally, I think conceptually, what I enjoy more is indie titles that have a really good idea that I can keep coming back to, as opposed to AAA games that, like Cyberpunk, try to do too much and are probably going to fucking fall flat on their face.
Cyberpunk will release, it'll be rated a 9, it'll be a 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima is like a 6 or a 7.
There are so many... Okay, I did play that. I completely forgot because it was so forgettable. There are so many people who are like...
We had this exact thing when I played Ghost of Tsushima. Is like, I did play Ghost of Tsushima. It was kind of nothing, but very pretty. And
I played the multiplayer mode.
Oh, okay.
It is just...
The single-player mode.
No, it is essentially what you... So what... Okay, define to me a modern-day multiplayer game with progression. Go.
Bars.
Okay, you're there.
Numbers.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Stats. Progression.
Yes.
Gear.
Yes.
Gear.
Gear has a what? It's a number, but it's normally referred to as
a gear. No, not me. Not
you make these. They're points. Points translate into what?
Experience and level up point.
You're almost there.
You craft.
It starts with an S.
It's
score.
Score.
Gear score.
Gear score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go keep going.
No more than 4 people.
Ah, yes.
No more than 4 people.
Yes.
Any more than 4 people, and the console will cry.
Yeah.
Raid.
What kind of missions?
Raid.
Yeah.
You raid.
Win. Or is it here?
Go.
Is the raid here yet?
Go to there.
Is the raid here yet?
No, it's coming.
Not
yet. Raid coming soon.
Raid coming soon.
In 21 days.
You could basically look at this game and then just look back at any other fucking
Didn't this game come out this year?
It did.
Didn't the game we just described come out this year?
Yes, it did.
It sure did.
It's called Marvel Avengers.
Oh, wow. You remembered.
A lot of people remember.
Not a lot, not as many as they wanted.
Nope. So I don't think it's terrible. I think that there was a mission that completely okay, so I went into it not in the traditional Phil stance, which is I'm heavily exhausted and think that streaming is a good idea.
Yeah.
So I showed up and I was like, okay, guys, I'm kind of sleepy, but let's see if this game can keep me up.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is fun. I can see where this is going. There's like 4 different jobs. We didn't even get to that. There's classes.
Jobs.
There's classes.
I love a good class.
There's
the strength one.
Yeah.
The sneaky one.
Ooh.
The ranged one.
Yeah.
And then the one no one wants to play.
Shit, that's so on the fucking. That's so on key. That's so on it. It's unbelievable. So there's the samurai, there's the ranger,
Face me.
There's the ninja, and then there's the ronin, who is the healer.
That's not what ronins do.
No,
ronins are also kind of like samurai ninjas. And
should have been a temple something or other, but whatever. Should have been something else.
A mystic.
So.
Should have had a bird.
So you know all the beautiful parts of like Ghost of Tsushima and how like the best part about it is all the colors,
atmosphere, and all the stuff that happens when you're not fighting.
Yeah. So imagine if you just set it to that color scale, that color grading of like red and gray.
Yeah.
But like forever.
Yeah, and it's dark.
And like the PS4 already like Pro,
it's screaming at you to play something else.
Yeah, and it's already like smoking, and then it's just screaming, and the game seems so muddy. Also, probably because I'm blind. But like, here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. Yes, my glasses broke right before remake, and I need those to see. But I was able to make things out very clearly because of the clarity in how good remake looks.
Yes.
And Tsushima looks amazing.
Yeah.
But
what?
When it's in motion, in combat, it can get it has that same problem that games from 2014 have, where it's like, oh, you want to dip below 30 so hard, don't you? You just want to get that frame dip.
I thought you were going to say it's the oh no, they found Ezio. Now there's 12 people around you, and they're just fucking blurring.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah.
I don't
no,
even...
that doesn't help either.
I'm just mashing the counter button. I don't know what the fuck's going on in this fight.
So conceptually, the whole idea behind the game mode is the dude showed up, except they brought demons. The Oni. And you're just like, oh fuck. And it's like the whole back side of it is that there's some old dude narrating overall, like, these are the legends, the real Ghost of Tsushima, and you're just like, cool,
okay,
all right. And you play it, and it's the same old gameplay loop as from, the rest of the game. It's the like what I was trying to get to was like there was a mission. I was like on board for a little bit. I was like, this is fun. I can see myself losing a couple hours to this. And I got to a mission where they're like, okay, so you show up and one of the main ghostly baddie guys, the demon dude, is like upset and he's asking for your help and he dies. And then you realize the whole village is like full of the ghost of your like dead kin or something, except they're ghosts. But they can hurt you. But they're fucking ghosts. So you can't see them. So you have to also parry them.
Oh, you have to parry.
But you can't see them, and they're not making noise
because they're ghosts.
They're ghosts. And also the map is way larger than anything you've played so far.
Yeah, and unfortunately.
And you know what the mission is? Kill the ghosts that you can't see.
And unfortunately, we're 700 years too early for Zach Bag. And so, friend of the podcast. We brought up Zach. I'm now realizing it's like, he's up there with Schnasty Spencer and all the other podcast heroes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. It's like a 6 or 7. It's all right.
My friend has always referred to. It's always been there's a series of games, and I've talked about it before, and we'll talk about it again. It's always been that series of games you play, and you look and you go, oh yeah, that's a weekend. That's a solid 7.
Yeah.
That's a solid, I'm going to rent it and I'm going to enjoy it and I'm going to put it away and go, Glad I didn't spend my full money on it.
Note that I bought a brand new $60 game, played it for a bit, been like, yeah, this is really cool. And then you asked to play it. I'm like, here you go, man. And I haven't even asked for it back.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's...
Yeah. No, and that happens a lot, like way too frequently nowadays, I think.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest issue right now is that
And it's not
I
like...
got my game. I got my game this year,
Yeah.
and I loved it. And regardless of whether or not I feel about the ending,
Pat, water under the bridge.
water under the bridge, man. I still boot that game up. It still brings me to tears. Like that's how I know. I'm like, fuck it, I'm in.
The difference is like, I don't know. I remember like Uncharted is like a boot up weekend game to me, but it's
Right.
memorable. It's way more memorable compared to like. I'm gonna be real. I can't tell you most of what happens in Spider-Man. I don't remember it. I remember the Scorpion because he made the town all.
Well, because the most memorable part about that game doesn't happen until the last 10%.
Yeah,
Which is Dr. Octavius.
someone told me that Shocker was in it, and I didn't believe them. I was like, no, he's not. Or Electro. I think it might have been Electro.
I just think the
I
problem...
think they're both in it, actually.
Yeah, no, they are. So, like...
What a terrible duo of villains.
I'm almost positive that there was a really cool fight between Shocker, Vulture, and Electro that you fight all simultaneously at the same time.
You fight them two at a time.
Two at a time.
Yeah, and they're repeats of their individual boss fights, but just happening at the same time.
Which is cool. It's a cool concept.
It's a cool concept.
And I forgot about that until literally just now.
Yeah.
The problem with like so many open world games is that it just runs into the same issue of, does this really need to be open world? Here's a perfect example of a game that really should have just... So according to Josh, and it's not an open world game, but I think this kind of falls in the same bracket of, does this game need to be this?
Yeah.
Does Avengers need to be a loot grinder game that requires you to come back to it?
Do you get to loot things in Ghost of Tsushima?
You do get to loot things. There's gear.
Oh, right. We did talk... Well, gear and loot. Sometimes you loot a different thing. You loot pointless materials. Are there any pointless materials for you to loot?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, hell yeah. Just like the single-player game, right?
Oh, we haven't... Were we around? Was Genshin Impact even a thing in the last podcast?
Absolutely not. And I don't have very much to add.
Yeah. I do think it's really funny that, like, so, to, like, as an off tangent, that there was a guy. So one of those dudes, shout out to this guy, M-Tashed.
Yeah.
One of those dudes who proliferated and profited off of, like, the videos. So he's been a content creator for a very long time, and he's one of those dudes who's like, I just spent $5,000 on Genshin Impact.
I have more money than you. This is what I did with it.
So he just made another video and said, I'm going back to free-to-play. I realized that not only did I spend money and fund a predatory service, but I also made all that money back and then some because of it, and it felt really gross. So I'm going to play this game just free to play.
Fair enough.
And I said, that's actually pretty classy.
So,
but also, let's see how long that takes before he fucking goes, just another 10 roll, just one.
So, it's not great, and it's gambling. I don't give a shit anymore. My problem with Genshin Impact is very petty, and I did 5 10 pulls and got all weapons on every 10 pull.
No, but that's the game.
And so I stopped playing the game.
That's the game.
But as I was surrounded by people who were constantly getting what they wanted and hearing like, oh my god, I just got this. It's like, Genshin Impact is a really fun game. And I played through the story up until like adventure rank 27 or something. So I put time into it. And I was really enjoying the story, so much so that I had to like the single player stuff.
Right.
So much so that I had to keep reminding myself, it's like, oh, I didn't pay for this. This has been really fun. But it's like a character action game. Most of the fun comes from getting cool characters you want to play as. I got Fischl, and that's it. And so I was officially done playing it and uninstalled it.
So the thing that kind of brought me around to, this is not going to be, I'm not going to play this at all, is, you know me, like I said before, progression has to feel really good in the game for me to keep playing it.
Yeah.
That game's progression was okay up until I realized that there is a entire sheet that is dedicated towards one resource. How do you get that resource? You have to get the same character in a role. And when that character is duplicated, it turns into the resource.
That is such a typical gacha thing that I didn't even bat an eye at it. I saw that and I'm like, yep.
No, and it makes sense. But when I saw it, I was like, ha, I'm not playing this. I'm dropping this immediately. I was like, this is stupid and predatory, and I want nothing to do with it anymore.
Yeah,
And guess what? Doesn't matter, because that game made its entire development cost within a month.
Yep. It's so weird because it's like I got like 20 or so hours of entertainment out of that for free. So it's like, me personally, I'll play the gamble. I've spent money on the mobile game. I had to get Alice and Dengeki Bunko Crossing Void. I've put in some money because I'm like, I've played enough of this where I'll support it. But also, like, I was getting cool free stuff in most games too. So you gotta to get you to want to gamble, they have to give you cool free stuff. So you're like, oh, this is what could happen. I'll just spend money so the cool thing happens more often. I get the stuff I want. And then you get tricked, but like, that didn't happen in Genshin. And that's that's just my odds. It's what happens when you win every other gacha game you try to play within like a couple days of playing it. That's what I do. I beat gacha games. I beat Arknights the day I got it. I got the coolest character in the game. Why would I keep playing it?
So so the problem is that there was a moment where it's like, I also think that other gacha games have just better roles than Genshin Impact.
No, it 100% does.
Yeah.
I guess unless you're not me. But it's like, I wanted one character. That, like, there was one character I liked. She's cool. I want to play as her. That's the character I want. Which then turned into, okay, I'm not getting her. I'm not getting anything. So I'll take this character, this character, or this character. Then it became, fuck, man, I'll just take any character at this point.
Right.
I can't stress. 5 roles of weapons. I think I got a couple duplicate characters for people I didn't play. Like, I got the girl with the spear that you get at rank 20 anyway for free. Zhongling.
Yeah.
I got Zhongling in a role. They give you that character. I didn't want her again.
Yeah.
So, but in like a turn-based mobile RPG, the character is a JPEG. That's why they're called JPEGs, even though there are full characters. So, like, as long as you got one person, the rest of the team, they're numbers.
It doesn't affect the gameplay loop.
Genshin Impact, it's an action game.
Affects the gameplay loop.
It's like roll for Nero. Roll for Nero. You have to play as V. You got V.
No, it's worse. It's roll for your Devil Breaker. It's roll for your style. Which one are you playing?
Styles, weapons, characters are all rolls.
All rolls.
And sometimes
souls? No. You need orbs. You need orbs that you just...
Ebony and Ivory are separate, and you can only equip one on each hand.
Yeah.
And you can't equip 2 Ebonies, but you keep getting them, and all you need is Ivory.
Guess what? They're only 4-star.
Yeah.
They're
and
only 5.
you have to equip them both. That's the thing. I always have modest goals in gacha games too. I don't dream big.
I wanted to play. That was my goal.
Yeah.
The game proved to me that's not going to happen. So I said no.
For me, who doesn't like the stat optimization part of games, for the most part,
right?
I see that, and I'm like, if my character never ascends, I don't give a shit. I don't care if the number ever gets that much bigger. I just want to hit things.
Yeah, but the problem is that the game is, when you progress in the game is actively getting harder.
Yes,
so
I stopped playing by that point. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So, like, the thing is that it's forcing you to a progression loop that is forcing you to use fucking funds. So here's the other thing too, that there's a resin system that apparently exists in the game that you use to fight bosses and do certain dungeons, and you can there are items that can get that up back to the full amount, or you can use your freemium currency that is normally only accessible to you through certain achievements, getting levels, completing certain bosses and things of that nature. But you can use your freemium. But guess what? If you dip into your freemium,
You can't roll.
you can't roll.
Can't get your 10 weapons
Can't
again.
get your 10 weapons again. Or your cool new guy on this new banner. Don't you want the wind trap? Look at him. He's so cute. He's so lovable.
I don't...
He's a god of wind.
I didn't. And I think if I had gotten him, I would have been so angry that I uninstalled the game anyway.
I got up on my first roll. On my first, there's a stream, there's a clip somewhere where I go, I guess we'll roll, and it's just, and the first thing I get is the 5-star, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm never playing this game again because that's the only time it's ever going to happen, and guess what? I was right.
Yeah.
So,
mine was Barbara. That was my 1 5-star. Thanks, Genshin. Real cool.
So I've decided I now have know that it's okay when anime does it. It's only okay when anime does it.
It's only okay when anime does it.
Because people don't like loot boxes, but they like Genshin Impact. And people don't like saying the N-word, but they'll let Korone-chan do it. So it's okay when anime does it.
No, is this what happens when I call back?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop, but I'll think about
It's
it.
okay when anime does it, guys.
So,
anime can get away with anything. If you just want to be a racist bigot, like in real life, if you want to support Trump, just put a fucking hat on Kiryu. Just put a MAGA hat on Kiryu Coco and just come on board and go wagga 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 wubba lubba dub dub. Fuck the blacks. Like it's literally. If you just want to get away with it, that's how you do it. So just anime it up.
So speaking on loot boxes, Speaking on loot boxes,
am I wrong? Sufficiently in the history of things, has anime not gotten away with a sufficient amount of, like, a crazy amount of shit?
You are more right than you're wrong.
Okay.
The only difference I would say is that the way that, like...
And I only associate it because every time that someone has, like, a super hot racist take, it's always a dude with, like, a Haruhi avatar or something.
Again, I'm talking about loot boxes.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah. Okay,
I think you've exhausted this topic on your side. You packed the whole conversation into one statement, one clippable statement. I think you got it.
So, loot boxes.
Don't even know anymore. I was just gonna say gacha's just typically associated with full characters. Loot boxes is like costumes and stuff, but there was really, I don't remember what the point was.
I don't know. The thing is that it's just like, that can't be better? I think the only reason
typically it's like a free buy-in, or like there is no buy-in. Whereas like I don't see as much complaints about loot boxes and stuff like Apex and Fortnite, just because I'm not obviously paying attention to that, compared to, hey, I bought this $60 Battlefront game, so why do I also have to roll for Darth Vader that I can't use even all the time?
No, but that's so weird to me, is that, like, okay, so there's something that is actively technically pay to win, which is this character is incredibly powerful, considered a 5-star, and actively changes the gameplay dynamic as a whole. And somehow the entire internet just thought that was okay.
It's weird because...
But putting a fucking tracer, like putting a tracer in a fucking Olympic costume and calling it like premium content somehow isn't, even though you're playing a first-person shooter.
My stance on both of those is still always and forever, just let me buy it.
No, there's the antithesis to that now, because I believe I've told you that, which is the Valorant problem, which is just let me buy it. Okay, the gun skins are $90.
That's dumb.
So that's the problem. The answer is always going to be no. If you're going to do that, offer it for a premium, but the premium shouldn't be
a mortgage.
More than a fucking video game. More than a next generation video game.
Yeah, that's post price increase.
Right. And then certain people will be like, "Well, I can only buy the one gun skin." You are still paying $20 fucking for a gun skin. 20 to $30.
Remember.
And that's the fucking thing with people who are like, oh yeah, well, like there's this legendary skin that dropped over in League of Legends, and like, you know what? If that's the only fucking game you're playing,
Yeah.
100% do it. You might as well. If it's the only fucking game you're going to play, and that's the problem, is that there are way more people out there who are just like, I'm going to sink all my time in this one game and that's it, than there are people out there who are like, let me experience the world for what it is, which is every other video game ever, which is kind of wild that every other video game ever is also still just as stagnant and boring because nobody's playing them apparently. So it's like, how is it that these games that are general, like turning into general time sinks, getting so successful? Like, okay, games as a service we've always talked terrible about. I hate it. I really hate the concept.
Yeah.
But I get it. I do.
Yeah.
100%. But I don't get this. I think that this is bad. I think that the idea of like literally locking features.
You get it, but it's a lot less like it's grimier. It's very it preys on people with no self-control.
Right.
Or people who just didn't want to put a credit card in and would have if they just put PayPal, but oh well.
Right.
Can't be me. Point being, like, I don't know. It's just what do you value in that little box? How much it is? I don't know. There hasn't. That
clip does not need to be shortened. Thank you very much.
The point.
That clip requires nothing but the utmost context, and if I see it without context, it's getting deleted. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there was copy. It was DMCA'd.
Yeah.
Yeah, because.
Cutie Coco.
But
coming in for the takedown.
But yeah, it's weird because like an anime gacha game, like when you roll a character, it's not a JPEG with numbers. It is a character. This is gameplay now.
Yeah.
This is no longer just cosmetic. This is no longer like this is a move set. Roll for Ken. You start the game and you get Ryu. Sometimes when you roll, most of the time when you roll, you get survival mode items.
That's what FGO and Grand Blue is. Yeah, but you know what? I think it's just because of the fact that the rates are just better.
That's helps. The thing is like because like even when you don't get exactly what you want, you get something.
Yeah.
In Genshin, when you roll, if you get max rolls, you get 3-star experience items. Essentially,
the problem is if they made it to like every roll gets like guarantees a character, then there wouldn't be the progression that they want, which is they want you to keep spending money drastically. And the idea that there are people out there who have spent upwards of $5,000 and has still not gotten the character that they want speaks to how miserable those rates are and how completely predatory the whole system is as a whole.
Yeah.
So
the thing is like
Genshin Impact is a very pretty game that is dressing up a very evil plot.
It's like it's just not enough content there either. It's like you can't populate the rolling pool with enough stuff because the game just came out.
Because the characters aren't just a button you press that does a particular animation.
That's the thing, yeah.
It is an entire fucking move set that are supposed to have interactable like you integrate them within your team to create combos from elements. It is an amazing system that needs to be adopted in a better game.
Yeah, like Anthem.
What happened in the news?
That was kind of news. It transitioned.
Somewhere.
It is topical.
They talked about it. Did you hear that? Someone said, "Hey Anthem, what? You doing something?"
No. The national one. We weren't talking about you. Oh. Yeah, we're trying to start a baseball game over here, Anthem. You mind sitting back down, please, on your little Zoom camera?
Yeah, but do you want to hear what I have to say? I just want to let you
we still might develop it into a real Shut the fuck up, Anthem.
But I think it's so close. What is? What? Tell me.
The only thing that is close, thank God, is Cyberpunk, which will come out in only a week.
Man, I'm so excited for Cyberpunk. Wait a minute.
Hold on a second.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
I'm being bamboozled.
Wait.
There's no... Max, the game went gold.
Yeah.
Max.
Just like the background of their tweet when they announced that it would actually be delayed for 21 days.
Okay, so
The theory I posited
Yeah.
is that they haven't killed all of their employees with crunch yet. And in just 21 days, they could make it happen.
You know what it is? It's not running on PS4. It's not. It hasn't been compliance.
Standard PS4?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
So Sony's going to say, no, send it back. It has to run. Which means every other version of the game is going to suffer from it. It's compliance. It's 100% compliance.
But going gold happens before compliance?
I thought!
I figured that you would say that we went gold basically when you were printing the discs and
That
shipping
game's not
them.
going to work. That game's going to go into a fucking PS4 system and set it on fire.
No.
And that's going to be your Cyberpunk experience. And then the people who can't, which is wild to me, considering how fucking basic those recommended requirements are. The Formal Pickle, thank you for a sub so much, my friend.
Oh, thanks, Jake.
Oh, hey. So, fucking... Do you remember the recommended specs?
It's ours. It's
Yeah,
our specs.
it's our specs.
It's literally what we
The
run.
1060, well, I have a 1080,
Yeah.
and a fucking 4790K, which we both have that CPU.
Yeah.
Which, want to put in perspective, this one couldn't run SAO on stream.
That was
Their fault, yes.
yes. But I
The
probably
idea,
still couldn't.
Yeah, so the idea that that's happening
Yeah.
is telling to me, and more than I've seen in the gameplay, I'm like, okay, this looks cool. The more I've seen of the city gameplay, those streets are looking real empty.
Ha ha ha.
They're not as dense or packed as they were before.
This is
And I you know what? They keep talking a big game about all the really cool side quests and missions, and all I keep seeing are insert this creator here, and oh yeah, we're here on a really special mission that's going to be handed out to you from this streamer, which like I thought was cool, but now it's like everyone's in it apparently, and I'm just like, I don't want Dr. Disrespect in my Cyberpunk
and
game.
also phone's been right here. Haven't gotten my call yet. I don't know if they knew this. I made Critical Goes in Crazy Taxi Car. So I'm just sitting waiting.
I like how the tweet that you always prop up is not the one that even made numbers.
The Crazy Taxi one's my favorite. I don't give a shit about that Persona one.
You know why it's your favorite? Because it required effort. It required you to actually modulate
No, the
it.
Persona one was the most effort.
Really?
100%. I had to mask. No.
Okay, yeah,
I
you
like that one a lot, but the Crazy Taxi one, I like it because it's just so sudden.
It's so sudden, but the problem is that the Persona one is literally built
for it.
like perfectly.
Yeah.
So, so compound on top of a couple of things. Let's talk about it.
Sure.
So, Cyberpunk gets delayed not once, not twice, but 3 times in 1 year.
Yes.
Then there's a bunch of hearsay about some weird behind the scenes toxicity, and then there's some confirmations from some outside sources, or some inside sources rather, that were they're crunching the shit out of us, and it's not just a choose your crunch, which apparently quote unquote Polish labor laws are not supposed to allow, but totally existed and happened. Thank you, Mr. Dark Soul, for bringing that back up again. It was in my tweets. Totally existed and happened during the Witcher 3 troubles, which, by the way, also had a horrendous development cycle the entire time that was going down. And then, now you have tons and tons of fucking people, like amazing, like really cool content creators that I really appreciate. I'm going to call one out because I think it's crazy that he's doing this. Paris, who is
I'm happy I didn't finish that.
Yeah, he's a content creator, to an extent, you know. He he's a positive role model in the
Yeah.
community. You know, I like him. I like positive people.
Yeah.
What I don't like is those same positive people turning around and saying and simping super hard while covered head to toe in cyberpunk gear and the cyberpunk chair, trying to talk to Jason Schreier, who is without a doubt the most like only journalist within the industry right now.
Yeah.
Like the one who has the most actual fucking confirmation on his journalistic integrity, and yet somehow he talked bad about Cyberpunk game make me feel bad,
Yeah.
make me sad.
Yeah, that would make
Because
sense.
one man I know from Cyberpunk team say no so bad.
Yeah, come on.
Because of course
we had
the
Ed Boon.
motherfuckers drinking the Kool-Aid aren't going to tell you it's poison.
Yeah, well, guess what? I read all the reports. They had someone come in and make sure that the company was being run responsibly. Ed Boon. They had Ed Boon come in and take a walk around the office, and he gave the okay. He said, this is great, but you know what you could be doing? You could unblock live leaks, because that's where they're going to get most of their inspiration from. You guys have a lot of dogs around the office. I think that's bad. I think people should be disgusted when they look at dogs.
Oh my God.
I think they should look at dogs the same way a watchmaker looks at a clock.
All right, we got to give this joke over to Temperance. It's such a good joke. Wake the fuck up, Samurai. The dev hears after falling asleep in his 100th hour of crunch. Shout out to Temperance for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's... I guess it's okay when anime does it.
Hey, it's really cute. Oh wait, I don't know actually.
No, I just thought like cyberpunk, whatever. It's the idea that everyone is so. Here's what's always so frustrating, is when we heard about all the Anthem bullshit that Jason Schreier reported on, everyone was totally on board.
Yeah, because
This game hasn't been played publicly by like anyone that isn't a content creator ever.
Yeah,
and everyone's so completely on board to be like, nah, fuck off. You're just being negative for the sake of... You're just trying to sell your book. That, to me, is the most egregious fucking thing. It's like, you live in a day and age where every content creator that you know subsists off of the corporate tit, and you want to turn around and make false fucking accusations and judgments about a guy who has a long, lauded list of and like confirmed journalistic integrity.
like this year.
Yeah.
So...
And I don't have to agree with everything he says or like all of his opinions, but I have to give him props for actually being a journalist, and you're going to turn around and go, nah, Cyberpunk good, because CD Projekt Red good.
Well, see, Phil, there's nothing more cyberpunk and cool than siding with the corporation over the little guy.
Are you saying it's an ARG?
This is the true spirit of the cyberpunk genre, which is... blindly siding with
consumerism.
blind consumerism.
Yeah.
So,
but it has to be your favorite corporation.
yeah, but it has to be your favorite corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild that nobody like even because they said, because the one Game Informer lady said, no, I heard different, and everyone goes, oh, thank God.
Thank God. It was on the cover of the magazine.
No, she said it in the podcast.
Oh, whatever. I didn't read it. I didn't listen to it. She
Yeah.
said it was fine. It was fine. I'm not going to look into it any further. What
but
do you
of
think I
course,
am?
but of course, you know, it's Jason. People see it's so funny how fucking like easy people will forget. They'll because they were on board, like touting all these fucking like. It's funny, and here's a fucking content creator I'm going to call the fuck out. Legacy Killer HD on YouTube has always been the kind of guy that I've been like very wishy-washy on.
Yep, same here.
Yeah, of course. So he's the kind of guy who is essentially he doesn't have like particularly volatile content, but he's not afraid of kicking some rocks every now and again.
Yeah.
And during the Anthem days, he was absolutely 100% on board with all the reporting that was going on, and he said it was a confirmed thing. But the moment that the CD Projekt Red thing happens, it's a slippery slope because he likes the game. And most of his channel has been dedicated to reporting to fucking Cyberpunk. So imagine. And a part of me is almost like, okay, I want people like Jose to be okay. What I want, though, most assuredly now, because I've got my game and I don't give a shit, is I want the people who've dedicated their entire careers of the last couple of years to simping over this project for this fucking game to fall flat on its face and get a 6. Because I want people to understand that you can't just get away with letting corporations use people because they make video game you like. It fucks me up.
Well,
It's to this day.
I've got bad news.
It's not gonna happen.
Friendo.
I know it's not gonna happen.
That game is getting a 9 at least.
Yeah. It's going or 10s. It's going to be considered the perfect video game by anybody. It's going to be the Skyrim problem.
What a way to end a console generation with Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, I like it a lot. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's the worst case fucking scenario for me is that like oh no, I have to eat some crow by like playing a game I like.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever wanted Schadenfreude, like Schadenfreude or however the fuck you say it, to happen is this. Mainly because of the fact that so many people have been so vehemently on board with the concept of like, not since like when Jason Schreier reported on the same shit with Rockstar and everyone was like, no, man, Cowboy game do good.
It's like
the Cowboy game come out and everyone bought it and everyone goes, fuck, it's not that great. And then everyone kind of leaned into the whole thing like, yeah, maybe it wasn't. Maybe they shouldn't have crunched so hard. But you know what the difference was? It is reported that Rockstar actually made changes, and it's been pretty good over there.
That sounds pretty good. It only took a massive pandemic where most people had to stay at home.
Fuck.
Nice job, Rockstar. Can't wait for us all to go back to work.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's so frustrating to me because it's like they're going to get the freest of fucking passes.
This situation is especially weird considering the game and its subject matter.
Yeah.
Of like, you didn't fucking get the point. You didn't. This is the least punk that you could be.
So I want to talk about something real quick because I was just watching the cutscenes from it because I just got reminded of another Cyberpunk-ish game coming out in like 2 days. So Watch Dogs Legion is coming out.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm seeing a lot of gameplay of it, and it looks just like we were worried about. It looks like they removed a lot of the soul of Watch Dogs, like Watch Dogs 2, the thing that we liked the most about Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah, the fun part.
It looks like it's gone.
Uh-huh.
And it's replaced with a relatively okay, apparently fun, like, roguelike system. Which is fine for someone like me who is like, I like this. This is cool.
Yeah, but for someone like me who is like, I like Watch Dogs 2 because of all the wacky characters. And it's like, well, the wacky character dies and stays dead.
Do you remember? Okay, so there's DLC that we didn't play. And there's there's one DLC that's actually it has the Lenny character from Primate, the really big lesbian girl who's like just a complete asshole to everybody.
Yeah.
So she hits up Marcus and she's like, hey, how would you feel if you were told that there was a crazy project that there's a company out there filling fucking homeless people with nanotech to go just experiment on them? And he's like, I'd say that's fucking crazy. That's not real. And she goes, well, it fucking is. So you go on this whole journey with her to effectively go into this place, and like she wants to steal the nanotech for her own reason because she's a body modder.
Yeah, she's the one with the LEDs.
Yeah, so she's a biomodder and she loves that shit and she wants to use it and she wants to take the stuff and like sell it. Your objective as Marcus is to go in there and be like, no, I'm going to destroy the fucking research because they're not using it the correct way.
Yeah.
And the entire time you're doing it, Lenny's sitting there and she's like, what are you fucking doing? Like, this could cure cancer. This could do this. This could do that. And then, like, Josh comes along with you. Josh, who's, like, the cute little kid with Asperger's who's, like, super, like...
Yeah.
And she shows up and she takes a real liking, like, a real shine to him. And she's like, oh, And even she turns around and Marcus is like, why are you fucking, like... You look like you're simping super hard. And she goes, he reminds me of someone I know. Someone who needs to be protected from the fucking like shit heels like us. And I was like, the fact that like a character that is a huge piece of shit, like the entire time, still had that like moment of even they have a human side to them.
Yeah.
And then they're having a conversation during the entire fucking mission. Like, Marcus, think about what you're doing. Like, let's have a conversation about this. And he goes, nah, fuck that. They want to do that. They're going to do it the right way. And she's like, you're about to put people completely behind for no reason than some fucking self-righteous feeling. And I was like, this kind of conversation is not going to happen in Cyberpunk.
So
this kind of like actual real transhumanism conversation that is supposed to be the core of the Cyberpunk genre is not going to happen.
So counterpoint. welcome to the resistance. That was all really cool. But I only play this game 2 hours every day after work, and I don't give a shit. I want to shoot things with my spider arms and drive a cool car. So I don't care how hard they crunch those employees. I watched that new game anime, and it was really cute when they got crunched. So it must be the same in real life.
Oh my god, it's so frustrating because it's like so many people look at fucking Watch Dogs 2. I hope now in retrospect as like this game actually has a lot going on for it, but all they saw was like, haha, silly millennial hacker boy going around doing silly things. But then you like,
it's crazy.
There's genuine fucking like actual conversations about real politics, and it's not shoving a political agenda in your face, and very, very much so it like shoves like the righteousness back in Marcus's face and ask him to like be like, do you really believe what you're like? My favorite conversation, do you remember in when he first meets like the main bad guy, Dusan?
Yeah.
And he's like, Marcus, you're fighting a war no one gives a shit about. Like no one fucking cares.
Yeah.
Like no one out there is going to give a shit about you the next day or whatever. You're fighting for people that are never going to thank you. What is the point? And Marcus is just like having to fucking deal with that. And then after that all happens, that's when the desert fucking they go to the desert concert like festival,
Yeah.
and they all have their like little like come to Jesus moment, and they're going like, no, this is for something bigger than us. And it's like, that is cool. That is great characterization.
Watch Dogs 2 was really interesting in the sense that it was the people that hated it and were like, this is just a bunch of dumb millennial stuff, were the millennials that get upset when other people go, oh, you're just a bunch of dumb millennials.
Yeah.
And that was really weird to look at because you play the game and it's like, oh, no.
It's the millennials that are really upset about Applebee's closing down. Like, about some of the Applebee's closing down. That's about it. It's those millennials that are like,
what?
Yeah, where they read the articles where it's like millennials have killed another business.
Yeah.
And they're sick of hearing that.
Yeah. And then it's like, millennials don't want to go and wear shoes anymore. And it's like, well,
By the way,
I'm a millennial and I wear shoes.
Casual reminder, if you haven't played Watch Dogs 2, please play Watch Dogs 2. It was leaps and bounds better than Watch Dogs 1.
Watch Dogs 2 was the most enjoyable open world game I've played. One of the most. I don't know. I can't give a time frame, and I can't think of one that tops it at the moment.
For me, it's honestly a toss-up between Phantom Pain and Watch Dogs 2.
Okay. Watch Dogs 2 feels like more of a complete package, whereas Phantom Pain, if the story was there, if it was a Metal Gear Solid game,
yeah,
then yes, it would be one of my favorite games of all time, probably.
Right.
It probably would have beat 3.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, so oh well.
Yeah. It has everything gameplay wise, whereas Watch Dogs is just,
it's got a solid gameplay foundation, but the story and the characters and everything,
it really puts it up there. My favorite, like I wanted to finish the part at the end of that DLC mission. She kind of just like is like just like looking at Josh like, oh, he has Asperger's, he ain't like a big thing, and like while you're there, you find a code that can deactivate all the nanotech shit.
Yeah.
And she walks away with a suitcase, and she's like, okay, I gotta go. And he's like, can I see it? And she goes, no time. And he goes, oh, okay. And then she stops. She goes, you really gonna hit me with that puppy dog shit right now? Okay, fine. So she comes up to him and he goes, wow, that looks like so much money. And I didn't see it until like the second viewing, but he puts his phone under it and then shuts them all off, so that she walks away with fucked up nanotech. And then Marcus comes running up and is like, why did you let her go? And then Josh fucking pulls the phone up and he goes, don't fuck with the hot sauce. And then Marcus is like, yo, that's my boy. He goes, that's my boy, man. The characters are so fucking good.
I didn't get my free copy because Ubisoft doesn't like me. So
yeah,
I need to pick it up again. I love Watch Dogs 2.
I'm thinking about doing another playthrough, like honestly, because it's just so
good. It's good.
It's super good, and the characters are so fun. Also, you have to play that game completely non-lethal, or else it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, game makes zero sense.
There's
if you 3D print a grenade launcher, game stops making sense.
Yeah, there's only one time that the violence happens, and it's like
even then, it's a lot of violence.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
No, I mean, because Marcus turns around and just literally says, "Nah, fuck it, we're gonna burn the whole thing down."
yeah, and, hey, guess what? He does.
He does.
He does do
He
that.
fucking does do that.
But yeah.
But so in my head, I come back to that. I'm like, so Watch Dogs 2 failed categorically when put up against its predecessor, which was apparently making fucking bank, but turned around and became like the quintessential. This is why you don't do bull shots.
Yeah.
And then they completely did the opposite for Watch Dogs 2 and presented that game completely clearly to everybody. And nobody was falling for it. Nobody wanted it because they were all. First of all, they tried to appeal to a jaded and cynical fucking game market that already hated that particular
Watch
type
Dogs
of
2
person.
was very colorful and fun, and gamers hate fun.
Yeah,
so
100%. Wall running, fuck that. Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
So like, it's like it's kind of fucking crazy and maniacal to me that like looking back on it, the idea that Watch Dogs 2 presents so many more interesting conversations, so many more interesting politics, without ever making you feel like it's being preachy.
Yeah.
And the people who are preachy are called out for being preachy. Mm-hmm. Like by characters in the game, they're like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, just like, you know, take a look in the fucking mirror before you say shit like that, you know, and just really poignant on the mark fucking politics that no other game has done yet. And this game is supposed to be the quintessential cyberpunk experience, and it's not going to have that. Like, for me, the problem is Cyberpunk has always looked more GTA than fucking Blade Runner. I wanted Blade Runner. I didn't want fucking GTA.
Night City. They're like, oh, don't worry, Night City won't be nighttime all the time. I'm like, fuck you. I want it to be night all the time. I want it to be a crazy neon dystopia. Instead, it's like half of it is like Arizona, where you're just driving through a field.
That part I'm not so against. It's more so the fact that, like, aesthetically speaking, and just it feels like
Far Cry. It's like Far Cry, a little futuristic.
Yeah, that's a really good way to look at it.
Because you're driving vehicles and stuff, but you get to the first person stuff. All the cool gameplay things I wanted, I look at the list of gut features, and it's like wall running, car customization. Like I'm just going down. I'm like, so this is just gonna be Deus Ex then, but in a less cool setting. Oh, because you can't wall run in the open world, or the game breaks. The game will just explode if you wall run. We have to make room for all of the NPCs that you see on the road, just like how many NPCs we have in the room. Same amount.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I don't mean to like kill people's hype, but the more and more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm just like
I've been called
the more
out.
I'm on board with Michael Does Life, the best video game reviewer we've ever found in our entire lives.
Yeah, if you leave here with anything, it's play Watch Dogs 2. Watch Michael
Does Life.
Watch Michael Does Life.
I think his name
and then watch the gay porn compilations.
Don't watch Michael Does Life. Don't watch Michael Does Life unless you're completely on board for the joke.
Yeah.
You will know what the joke is once you see his channel.
Once you see the second video.
Yeah.
The first video, you won't get it. The second video, you'll get it.
Yeah. 100%.
No, I feel like I get called out a lot for being overtly negative, like, all the time.
Right.
And I play it up a lot for streams and stuff, but a good amount of it is mostly tempered expectations. It's, oh, get excited for this thing. It's like, I don't want to get excited until it's in my console. That's the part where I get excited.
Right.
Maybe when I go and I pick it up at the store, or maybe when it's like a week out, but like, there's a reason why. It's like, of course, like, oh, Cyberpunk's going to be the best game ever made. But you can't say that 2 year, like the moment it's announced, or 2 years away, or 1 year away. You can't be like, oh, Max, of course it's going to get localized. Because, like, fuck.
Why did they take it off?
Because they're choosing to focus on Hyrule Warriors.
Is that your theory, or is that
is
confirmed?
my theory. That is my theory. Scramble apparently is still getting localized for Asia. No idea if it's going to have English. It's definitely not going to have a dub. So, man, I hate being right, but in this case, the part I'm right about is tempering your expectations.
Okay, yes.
So
but I also believe wholeheartedly, and the only reason I believe in this is because it's been proven to me more often than not.
Yes.
I believe in the self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
I believe that if you will something new into the fucking human consciousness enough times, it will happen. And it has been shown to me tons and tons of times. And I'm not even spooky mumbo jumbo nonsense.
But the rough part is that I'm the only one being negative, but I am the strongest. And so
so you're negative for like an entire section of people.
No, I'm negative for like 90% of humanity. Max just learned Japanese. I don't want to.
It's a different
Joker
game.
is Xander Mobus to me.
Yeah, it's a different game.
Makoto is Cherami Lee. Like, I played a 140-hour RPG with English voices. Unfortunately, that's just the way those characters are. And also, like...
It doesn't make sense that they're not going to localize it.
It doesn't make sense until you think, oh, what company is doing this? Oh.
But also, the fact of the matter is that no matter what, if you do end up playing that game with just an English sub... it does still look like it's going to be worth your time, because all the gameplay I've seen,
I'll grit my teeth.
The
through
most
it.
I'm going to tell you, and I think you've played the game. Have you played the demo yet?
No, I'm avoiding everything.
So
about it
looks like it's adopted a version of the FF7 battle system.
So
when you cast Persona skills, it stops the game.
Yeah,
but like it has like traditional
Makes
attacks
sense.
and it's got like you can parkour and do a whole bunch of shit, and there's cancel combos and like when you're mid-air you can like mask off in order to stop the game and then cast a bunch of, and it does technicals and shit like that.
But like it's the thing that I actually think it is that if you release Persona 5 Scramble or even announce it, you have destroyed Nocturne and Shin Megami Tensei 5 sales.
Just confirm real quick. It's not just a Muso. It is a full-ass Persona 5 sequel.
It is Persona 5 2. In the reveal, when it does the logo flash, it first says P52. And then the 2 turns into an S for Scramble. It is a sequel!
He meant the move and what the fuck are you... What is he talking about?
You mean the gameplay? Time stopping?
Huh?
What?
What?
Muso?
We're moving on.
I'm sorry, Josh. We'll talk about it later. But it's like, yeah, again, eventually in like 2 years or so, it might come out with just subtitles, but Persona Q2 is a lot less charming because all the characters' voices I've been hearing since like 2006 were not there. So,
yeah.
No.
I hope to God it happens, and I have full faith that it will at some point. But it does make sense for them to turn around and kind of pull all stops on the Hyrule Warriors thing.
My theory is for Koei Tecmo, it's Hyrule Warriors, and for Atlas, we can't announce anything Persona until Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Nocturne HD are out, because those games will just completely get overlooked.
The idea that they think that SMT 5 is coming out in 2021 is pretty
funny. That's hilarious.
It's really funny.
Yeah. I think it's funny that they think Nocturne HD is going to come out.
Because I think
in 2021 for America.
I think about like the casual development cycle for Atlas and their like reveal. The reveal was in 2018, 2017? When was the Switch?
It was the Switch, so it was 2017. Probably, yeah.
No?
28. Really? I thought the Switch came out in 2018.
Was it 27? When did the Switch come out? 2018 or 2017?
It's been 3 years.
So 2017.
I'd have to assume 2017, right?
Because it was announced on the same... Because it was a January, and then they said, coming out, launch day, is Breath of the Wild...
Yeah, and it was within like 3 months. When
I don't know. Like, I feel like the Switch just showed up.
Point is, we've known about SMT5 for too long. Yes.
Not long enough, is what I'm saying. Well, hold on. Okay, so P5 got announced in
P5
2013 or 2014.
Okay, but P5 got delayed 5-6 times.
That's what I'm saying is we haven't even hit that point
Oh
yet.
yeah, we haven't hit the first delay.
Right. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that like okay, so in the Atlas you're bound for 3.
Yes.
And the same thing with Square Enix. Square Enix is you don't get a date until somewhere.
Until the third delay.
Then okay, so it's 1 delay
Yes.
and then one final cyberpunk delay, which we're going to call it, which
Yeah.
is like it's just like out of nowhere at the very last minute
Uh-huh.
we're going to change it out.
Yeah.
So about 2 to 3 delays depending on
So it's
like,
still the third date you get. The
Yes.
third date you get is the real one.
right. For P5 was like the 6th one.
It was 6. That was
Because-
originally like like halfway through PS3.
But we're also talking about a crew that didn't have like money
We're all for a
little while.
For a
Like
little
P5
while.
was the most expensive game.
No,
they've
I
ever
forgot we're
created.
talking about SMT5. Yeah, I don't think it's as hard as Atlas makes it out to be. That's all I think. I think I just don't think so. I think the games have a lot going on in them, like from a creative perspective, but not mechanically and not really graphically until 5. And 5 is mostly like the art team doing that. Other than that, it's like
Not unless they turn around and also reveal that they're doing SMT4 on the Switch.
no SMT3
Because it would
Nocturne
no
was their
because
side
that
project.
but that's the thing, it would make sense though.
You can't
because-
just port that.
Are you sure?
Yes, you have to remake SMT3 or 4. You have to remake it. You can't just port that. That at the very least,
I
the
don't
amount
know.
of facelifting you have to do to the assets is like.
I don't know because the AI upscaling on the emulators is not that bad.
Is it not?
No. That you forget how good that game actually looks for a 3DS game.
I guess if it sticks to Switch, it'll be passable.
That's what I'm saying. So unless they turn around and the plan is release the latest SMT games out there to get people on board with SMT, because it totally makes sense for them to bring 3, because it's like, oh hey, SMT, that's that Persona game, right? No, here's what it is. You probably haven't played it. Here's why.
I think that's too big of a jump for Atlas to make from nothing. I think Nocturne, already releasing an HD version of Nocturne is
It's
like
pretty big
ludicrous fantasy. It's not real.
Right.
So the idea of them releasing all of them is extra not real.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that's what's going to happen. Is we're going to get the delay until 2022, and then we're going to get SMT4 sometime in 2022 early, and then we're going to see SMT5 in the middle of 2022.
That's so.
You want to talk about my like crazy
That's so
crazy E3 gamer prediction? It's right there.
Stupid though.
Yeah, it is.
I guess. Yeah.
It is
Yeah,
dumb.
who can you-
Wouldn't it be dumb?
Yeah. Hey guys, this game's been finished and released for 2 years.
Yeah.
You want to just slap that dub on there? Hey, fans already fully translated it. We don't even have to fucking do that.
So, yeah. No, I feel bad for you.
So we're both having a week.
Yeah.
I've had enough good news recently. It's like, hey, Evangelion is finally getting a Blu-ray release, and it's by a company that won't charge me $500 for it. Hell yeah, let's go. Love is War got a season 3 announcement this
Crazy
week.
when you
That's
offer
great.
the things that people want in a medium that they can get at a price that they can afford. They want it a lot more than normal.
I would have. I was telling Jesse I'd pay upwards of like $600 for Ava.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. You just have my money. Whatever.
Yeah, I get that. 100%.
No PS5 to play it on. I'll just I'll just look at the box. I'll put it on my desk, and that'll be that. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Hey, does anyone still care about Strive? They info dumped a lot on that. They got rid of ranked
Why?
because they're doing the tower thing.
What the fuck is that?
So the way it worked in the beta, and the way it will apparently continue to work in Guilty Gear Strive, you start it up, and you have 10 floors of a tower. They may have added more, I don't know.
Okay.
And you start on the bottom floor, and then as you get better at the game, it locks you out of lower floors, and so you move up. And you can go above as high as you want, but if you're on floor like 5, you can't go to floor 4. You can only go from 5 and up, so that you're like always playing. You are always instigating matches with either people of your skill level or higher, but people lower than you can match up with people higher than you.
Right.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It's dumb for many reasons, and I think the most frustrating thing, and the reason why I bring it up, is that I saw a lot of people defending it, saying that a lot of people weren't playing ranked in anime games anyway, so there's no point in bringing ranked back. Phil, you're a smart guy. Why do you think no one is doing ranked matchmaking in these anime games?
Because no one's playing the anime game.
Why is no one playing the anime game anymore?
Because the anime game doesn't work.
Because the anime game doesn't work.
The non-anime game doesn't work. People still play it, only because they have their entire careers attached to it.
If I boot up Street Fighter V and I hit find a ranked match or casual match, go fucking figure, it'll find me a match.
And that internet doesn't work very well.
Doesn't work very well.
It's almost like...
Works better than some, but...
It's almost like if anime fighters and people gave a shit, or
So-
developers gave a shit.
So Strive, implementing rollback. Great start. Taking away all matchmaking.
Why?
Bad. You know what? And I'm pretty sure I've said this before. I've definitely said it just on stream, but I don't know if I've said it on a podcast. Is that I don't want to walk up to somebody and ask for a match. That shouldn't be my job. I should click find match, and then you should put me in a match with somebody. Arc System Works lobbies, fucking whatever. You sit down at a cabinet, someone else walks up, and then it starts the match. I don't like it, but whatever. The idea of just join a Discord and ask for match. I don't want to do that. We tried that, and the Dissidia Discord was not very friendly.
I think it's cute. I think it's a cute idea, the lobby setup. But I have the same feeling that I do when Destiny launched without matchmaking for raids, which is just fucking at it. Because why not? Why wouldn't you?
Because you don't want to divide your player base too
Well,
much.
see,
You got
you're
some
already
people trying to
talking
find
about-
matches.
Okay, so ranked matches. So you're already talking about something that like 95% of the player base is not going to fucking join in on.
Yeah.
It's already a specifically created for one sole purpose only, which is the idea of these mega gamers, these nerdy motherfuckers, these niche people. They're going to be sitting there and playing this game out, and that's it.
Yeah.
This is not something that they're going to be like continuously going down. So why in the fuck is there so much like? Why not just make that process easier for the people who are going to be playing it? You already
like-
know. Like
The
the
answer
worst
is,
case
like-
scenario is you're going to just give more tools for people who to jump in. And I guess the idea, so specifically, I guess, and not as like one-to-one with the Destiny thing, but for me personally, it's like they want to avoid toxicity. And it's like, you know what? You can't, because humans are inherently shit.
Yeah.
And once you realize that, you can just kind of get over most of the toxicity.
So, I'd like to tell everyone a little bit about how arcades in Japan work these days, and it will be relevant. When you sit down at an arcade cabinet in Japan, play a recent game, it is obviously hooked up to another cabinet so that you can play someone sitting right next to you or across from you, and it is also set to look for matches online, so that even when you're sitting down at your cabinet, it'll be matchmaking you with somebody else if you so choose. So in Arc System Works games, why not have your ranked and your casual match that you can just click it and it'll hit you, it'll send you right into matchmaking. And then if you still want to do your pixel lobby, you go and you sit at a cabinet and you can wait for someone to show up. Or you could just do both and sit in matchmaking. Like, I don't want to take my fucking pixel avatar guy, walk up to somebody, ask for a match. Oh, I'm sorry. I was actually waiting for a friend to join the lobby. We're going to be playing matches. Okay, cool. Walk up to another guy. You're 10 ranks above me. Walk away from that guy. Go up to this person. They got a 1-bar connection. They finally accept. They play one match. They quit out halfway through. The 10 ranks above you guy is standing next to you. He accepts your match. You get washed, and then you leave, and you're like, I've accomplished nothing in 30 minutes of trying to find a match. When I start Dragon Ball, I walk up to the little man at the top. I say, hey, I want to play a casual match. And the little man says, okay, you've been entered for a casual match. And then it still takes too fucking long, but in a minute or so, I will be playing a match of Dragon Ball. I didn't need to make a friend. I didn't need to do any emotes. I didn't have to go on an adventure.
I don't know.
And the music sucks.
There it is.
And the music sucks.
There it is.
So you don't even have anything to listen to when you're wandering these shitty lobbies.
Oh, man. It really is a shame to see how fucking against the grain that they want to be when it comes to fucking Japanese fighting games, because it just feels like it's such an easy answer that they are just refusing.
Everyone is caving now, but it took too long.
Yeah, because nobody has money.
Yeah.
And the people who do have money are like, like.
Yeah. But like, Strive is a different beast entirely. Of just like,
imagine you sell to 10 people.
Yeah.
And 8 of them go, not unless you add custard, motherfucker. You're gonna put something. You're gonna do exactly what they say, because yeah, you're broke, but man, you weren't that broke before.
Yeah. Well, the other problem is you'll buy it anyway, and here I am.
Yeah.
I guess I will.
Go for a minute. I'll be right back real quick.
All right. Where do we want me to go?
Just keep going on
right.
fighting it for a second.
All right, I'll just talk about fighting games for a second. Yeah, it is. It's really mind-boggling, and I think the biggest testament to this is the fighting game roundtable that happened like months ago of Harada from Tekken giving this whole spiel. And it's like, we tried to get crossplay working between like PC and PS4 and all the console companies. They were talking about, oh yeah, let's do it, but like nothing ever came of it. And the same thing with rollback. You can't just implement it. It takes a lot of work. And then in that same conference is when Fighting EX Layer announced that it was getting not only crossplay but rollback netcode. Like it was the same exact conference. Fighting EX Layer. That game was an April Fool's joke. And Tekken is just like, well, it's a small indie development team. Fighting EX Layer is made with like popsicle sticks and like those the little jump start like little fake laptops. That's what they make Fighting EX Layer on. And that has more quality of life features than some games. But again, it seems like everyone is kind of starting to get the memo. It's way too fucking late, but I still appreciate it. But again, like I said a little earlier, Accent Core getting rollback is cool. Strive getting rollback is cool. SNK, God, I wish they would just put Code Mystics. They'll get to put rollback in every single game except one of their new ones. KOF 14, nah. Samurai Showdown, 2019, 2020, no rollback for that game. KOF 2002, hell yeah, get that shit.
So
in
we
there.
have a new fun thing to worry about. The water's fucked for whatever reason, but we'll worry about that later.
Or our water doesn't work.
Yeah. It's just not coming out. I mean, it's coming out, but it's like the water pressure.
We paid the water, right?
Huh?
So we paid the water, right?
We always pay it. So.
All right. Well, I'll call about that.
God bless.
God bless. But yeah. So again, it's very, very frustrating because playing Strive was fun. It's just literally anything that isn't the in-game visuals and playing it is like a nightmare for me. It's like the UI is bad, the matchmaking is bad. I don't know if the netcode's going to be good because we didn't test the netcode. We test some fake stand-in shit that wasn't real. But Ramlethal's cute, so oh well, $60.
$60 going straight out.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
I'm trying to think if there was anything else stand out.
Well, you know, some people may make some pretty outlandish statements about streamers and the like.
Oh no.
And I'm trying to remember that gentleman's name. I had it pulled up and now it's gone.
Lord.
The tweet in question, I think I need to definitely look up because it's something that I do want to talk about for like just a little bit, just to kind of like reemphasize how completely disconnected. First and foremost, the Google Stadia team is.
Hey.
I guess he was. Let me see here. Yeah. So, Stadia creative director says streamers should pay publishers. I'm going to see if I can find the tweet.
Yeah.
The full tweet is: streamers worried about getting their content pulled because they use music they didn't pay for should be more worried by the fact that they're streaming games they didn't pay for as well. It's all, yeah. So I did. It's all gone as soon as publishers decide to enforce it. The real truth is that streamers should be paying the developers and publishers of the games they stream. They should be buying a license to like any real business and paying for the content they use.
So, playing devil's advocate for someone who has no fucking clue, but who really should, considering that he released a console, technically.
So by license, does he mean his license?
It's in the sense that you pay for a license to like if you want to watch Friends on Netflix, Netflix has to go and buy the license for Friends so that they can stream it to you.
Right.
And so if your thought process ends right there, if like literally it stops right there.
Yeah.
If Netflix has to pay for Friends, then Phil should have to pay the license for Hades to broadcast it. Because at that point, it's not like you bought Friends on DVD. You're broadcasting the game out. But like I said, that's if your logic stops there. We're so far past that. That conversation was maybe like 10 years ago. You're so late.
Well, because you know what? The thing is that there at the time, there wasn't a precedent set for the lengths that people will go to in order to kind of play the game that their favorite creators are playing.
Yeah.
And now that we've had that over the last 10 years where we've gone from, wow, PewDiePie and Markiplier really gave this Five Nights at Freddy guy like a whole lot of money just from views, to now they are basically like considered like, you know, we have streamers showing up and they're doing Doritos and like bounty commercials and all sorts of things. And it's like within the span of 10 years, the whole dynamic for what exactly can be considered like a celebrity has changed drastically.
Yeah.
And what that impact does has changed drastically. I mean, you're going to turn to me and you're going to say that the Phasmophobia guys and the Among Us guys are not going to be completely on board for the streamer intervention that happened for them. Among Us released 2 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about it until this year. Why? Because a bunch of fucking streamers got together one day and said, let's play this game. It seems really cool. And those streamers essentially blew the entire fucking lid off the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that game became one of the most played, one of the most sought after games. Fall Guys is another idea where ESPN reported on whether or not Tim the Tatman was going to get a fucking win today. And it's like, look, man, there are way too many cases, many studies that you can just turn around and go, there is unfortunately a direct correlation between a very large streamer playing a game and its general success.
Hate to tell you guys, if it wasn't for Matt and Pat, you wouldn't be playing Yakuza right now.
Yeah.
Or Metal Wolf Chaos. That one for sure 100%. But yeah. Yakuza?
Yeah, even the niche titles.
It's
even the very niche titles that people like that. I mean, fuck. Like it just comes down to the fact that uh, if you're big enough and you're playing like a niche title, like you or some kind of game, you could very well be the guy who's in charge of like it's because it's free advertising. It's not like a fucking it's not like a movie where it's like the core content is gone.
That's the big thing, and that's why it's like DMCA's over music. It's annoying, but I get it because it's.
The problem with the DMCA over music is that the RIAA has been effectively fucking over copyright law.
The issue with that is it doesn't work.
Yeah.
If it worked properly, I'd get it. But when it's like, no, we own those cricket sounds, but they were outside of my house. It's like, yeah, but we invented crickets, so you're gonna have to pay us like $10,000 or.
Did you not hear the last Lord sample? So no, I get that, but the thing is that the RIAA has effectively been manipulating and lobbying for terrible copyright law for the sole purpose of essentially holding the monopoly that is, how successful the music market can be, but refuses to be for the actual artist and will always be in subservience to the fucking corporation, which is why you've seen a lot of our artists come out and go, guys, you can stream my shit, my album's free to play, I won't DMCA you, and if you do, come to me. If you get one, I'll make sure to remove it.
Because the amount of times it's like, why? Okay, it makes sense I'm getting hit with a copyright thing over this. Why is it because it thinks it's a cover instead of the official thing that I'm actually using?
Also, why is it because of the fact... Okay, you know what's even crazier to me that I didn't think about the other day? So, this shows you how fucked it is. So there is apparently a bunch of crazy public performance laws.
Yeah.
So one of the major things was my mom went down and there is a really nice bakery that actually just recently they moved into a new place, and there's an amazing backyard kind of enclosure that they decided to do some karaoke at, and they bought the things, they bought all the stuff, and apparently. One fucking narc decided to go, hey, these guys are doing illegal karaoke. So because the fact that came up to her, gave her a cease and desist and say, because you use these particular songs, if you don't fucking pay for the license, which is like $30,000 fucking dollars, we're gonna fucking fine you. Yeah. Because of how fucked copyright law is and how completely off the fucking hinge it is. So in my eyes, I will 100% publicly say, fuck the RIAA, fuck the MPAA, fuck all those dudes behind the BSA, and fuck them all for the DMCA. Shout out to the futuristic sex robots. This shit was amazing.
Man, I love acronyms.
Yeah.
They're just so useful.
Yeah, but fuck all that bullshit. Copyright law fucking sucks. It's only in service to the fucking corporations. As far as I'm concerned, creators themselves are always going to be making money through other means anyway. I mean, artists don't ever get paid from fucking downloads. They get paid from going out and doing live shit. No. Anyone who has a fucking remote idea,
unless it's literally Naruto episode 62 part 1 of 3 on YouTube. You can take that down. That probably shouldn't be there.
Probably shouldn't be there.
But otherwise, if it's 10 seconds of a clip, it's not. You didn't ruin a movie for someone. You didn't take away the experience.
The idea that it doesn't fall into transformative use because of the fact that it's a continuous.
Fandango can make as many movie clips as they fucking want.
Fuck. Oh man. That's always fun.
Yeah.
When you ask YouTube, why did they get away with it? And they go, well, they paid.
Yeah.
So it's I'm
Jimmy
sorry.
Fallon can do whatever he wants. He's Jimmy Fallon. He can stream Among Us or Cyberpunk.
How that guy goes to sleep every night and wakes up being him, I'll never know.
Jimmy Fallon.
I don't like myself. I can't imagine waking up and becoming Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, I feel like late night TV hosts aren't real. I feel like they're CG. They're just manufactured people, and they may be corporeal, but that doesn't make them real people.
Well, you know what the question is. You know what the question is to me is the idea that hey, so in a corporate structure, you're doing a 9-to-5 job, and you're gonna post a show that most boomers at will have a fucking 10 to 11 sleeping schedule, right?
Yeah.
But your show comes on at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. Who the fuck are you for? It's not millennials, because your humor's not for millennials.
It's my dad. It's for my dad, so that he can show me clips of it on YouTube when I go to visit. That's who Jimmy Fallon is for.
Like pre-YouTube.
Pre-YouTube? No clue.
Like when we were kids, like when I remember going to bed on the weekends and seeing Jay Leno and all those other really unfunny people on fucking on TV. Yeah. Well, Conan O'Brien's, I think he's cool. I think he's a cool guy.
Listen, I got my news from Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert. I don't know how effective that was in molding me as a person, but I stayed up for those.
I'd like to think.
But anything else? Those still came on at 11 or 10. They weren't late.
No, they were prime time.
So
Comedy Central was prime time. So when I think late night show, I think literally late.
Yeah,
it's fucking 12 at night.
I don't know what Stephen
on
Colbert's
the Eastern
doing
Seaboard.
with Kojima at 1, but he's there. They're there so that they can make clips for Keith to show his son when he goes back home to visit.
I don't think, by the way, that Jeff Keighley can be any more exhausted than he already is, because if his eyes sink any further into his head, we're going to see his skull.
No, we're going to see the hand that's pummeling him.
The illusion will fall apart. The dream will start to collapse.
God. Standing on the edge. Fuck, man, that game could have been amazing.
It is amazing for all the wrong reasons. I
didn't want a confident stealth game. I wanted Metal Gear Solid.
Remember how fucking pumped we were for the Phantom Pain discovery? How we were coming away from that going, wow, this is the smartest game. I hate it.
The idea that he intentionally cut his game in half so that you would feel Phantom Pain from never getting a satisfying conclusion.
Yeah,
that's when I realized he's a hack. That's when I realized he's a hack, and then he made a game about hands.
Was that your Nomura Limit Cut episode moment?
Yeah, that was and I was like, oh, he made a game about hands. Cool, sure,
buddy.
Whatever, Kojima. I guess what? I came to realize I like Solid Snake a lot more than I like Hideo Kojima. I think that's just what it is. I think Goofy Man, well, I'll always respect him. Sort of. When he does creepy shit, I don't respect him. Beauty and the Beast Court? No, thank you. But I like the hand game. Sorry.
That game was fine.
It's you know what? It's a testament to what video games can be. I don't give a shit. And I have very much fun. it's like, yep, it's a thing that could only be a video game. Cool. I'd rather.
What's the Jeff Goldblum quote? You spent so much time figuring out if you could, you never stopped to think if you should.
Yeah, it's that. It's like, yeah, I get it. Hands across America. You said it multiple times.
That was you.
Mr.
You did
Kojima.
it.
Thank you. Guess what? It's hard to take your game about mortality and connecting people seriously when I throw poo-poo and pee-pee at ghosts. Don't care. I don't care if the ghost is a whale. I don't care if it's a big hand. Doesn't matter. No thanks.
So you're telling me if I shit even harder, you guys can make a powerful version of this? What the fuck were you guys holding? What was I holding back?
Yeah, and then Sam's just like, yeah, that's it.
I want to make a specific call out or a shout out to our boy Austin, because real quick, Austin and I have been fucking analytical geniuses when it comes to footage that has no context.
Mm-hmm.
Because he and I called out combat systems for Death Stranding, FF7, and a whole bunch of other games just from trailers alone that don't show any context. We had fundamentals down. The idea, I remember the FF7 analyst that we both did for the State of Play trailer, and we were both we were in there. He said, "Oh, that's obviously a stagger." Da 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 da. And then when they introduced stagger bar, I was like, "Motherfucker!" I was like, "I knew it."
See,
I fucking knew it.
I'm really bad at that and couldn't be more wrong, because as soon as I saw Death Stranding and then I saw the news, it's gonna be an action game with robots. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like Zone of the Enders, and I was wrong.
No,
I was kind of wrong.
Yeah, no, but like when we saw like we were looking at like screenshots, and then we saw like the blood milliliter thing, and I was like, me and him were like, okay, so they haven't stated it yet, but it looks like Sam's like blood or somebody's blood is going to be used as a weapon.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like
it was not fuel for Jehuti. He just shoots it out of a
when
gun.
you say you have that motherfucker working on mech designs.
Yoji Shinkawa, yeah, you don't think that they mean like a pickup truck.
or like legs.
Legs.
You want legs? You want these fucking legs?
No.
These fucking little spindly little robo bows legs, you fucking
I
asshole.
wanted you to make a big robot, not a zip line.
So Phantom Pain is where he transitioned from Kojima into Kojumbo for you, right?
Yeah, the
Because Kojumbo was Mario and the Princess Peach for me.
So
because you didn't even beat the game, right?
Phantom Pain, what? No, but I saw that. Phantom Pain. Phantom Pain was Kojima's like. To me, we joke about the Phantom Pain and it not being finished on purpose. There's no way that happened. I refuse to believe it. I see that as man is really tired, so he blew a whole bunch of company funds so he'd get fired.
No, I think it really did happen.
You think he really didn't finish the game
I think he wanted to. But I think what he did was made the best out of a bad situation.
Maybe.
I think that you don't release one of the most postmodern games of all time that literally looks at you and tells you to turn the fucking game off.
Yeah.
And not have the forethought to be like, actually though, this could work.
When I think about ending that game and it being the last Metal Gear Solid game in a way that makes you feel like there should be something there, but there isn't, considering as a series where for literally a decade and a half, he was forced to make sequels that he never had plans for. And so finally it's just like, you know what? Guess what? There is no answer. Why did Big Boss turn? It doesn't matter. There's nothing here for you.
Yeah, but there's also a statement to be made about how like it was always the players being the legends themselves, and I think I still love Phantom Pain.
That's genius Kojumbo bullshit to
me.
It was about, yes, it was, but don't put it in the. I know when I remember because Solid Snake told me that in 2001.
Okay, yes, but also, here's another thought. Are you ready?
I feel like I'm about to get hit with a me.
No.
Okay.
It's not that bad.
Okay,
I just had a realization.
Okay.
Is it fucked up that we enjoyed a man's work who didn't want to do it for the last 10 to 15 years? And the one that he did want to do is actually not good.
Not particularly, because it still felt like he kind of wanted to make 3, and that's like the one I like.
I think 3 is a misnomer. I think everyone's
3's a weird thing that's there, and everyone loves it. And
he did it, and he was like, "That's the final one." And then everyone said, "But wait, that does more questions." And he goes, "Yeah, I know. Shut up." And he like,
"But it doesn't. Metal, you could play 1, 2, and 3, and then stop playing, and you'd have just as much context as you need.
You could play 2 and stop playing. Arguably, you could play 1 and stop playing.
If you're really wondering about Big Boss, 3 sets Big Boss up to be a villain. By the end of that game, he is a villain. He has all the motivation he needs.
3 is absolutely the best told story, I think, in MGS.
Yeah.
2 is my favorite because of just how fucking batshit it is, and like conceptually, what it did, what it was about. I still look at I know people they always give fucking Kojumbo a bunch of bullshit, right? And they're always just like, oh well, he's not that deep, blah, blah, blah. That fucking JW conversation the GW conversation at the end, is still relevant. And this was written in 1998, 1999, only when BBSs were a fucking thing. Yeah. So the idea that he was able to call out internet culture to a T.
I will say that Genius Kojumbo is for sure a prophet. but
Yeah.
like to a scary degree, to the point where I think that he is actually manufacturing all of these incidents himself.
It's not Simpsons, it's Kojima. Or maybe they're both the same thing.
I really think that Genius Kojumbo made a game about everyone staying inside and having to rely on porters, and then invented COVID. I really think it. There's no way you see the screenshot of Death Stranding next to the guy, and that's the same.
How to get into America? Keeley.
It was Keeley. Keeley Spready. He went to Gamescom. How many places did they
That's
show
why
this
he
game
looks
off
so
at?
bad.
Oh my god.
Because he's asymptomatic, but also a carrier. You put that out there in the fucking world consciousness, right? You just did that.
Me?
Yeah.
I've said it before on this very podcast, so I'm now re-upping. I'm reneging. I have not
stop.
I have not believed it any less than the last time I said
stop. You need to not keep doing this.
But yeah, no. The Phantom Pain for me is Kojima is tired and he wants out. And then Death Stranding is Genius Kojumbo. That is
Death Stranding is he should have stayed out.
Genius Kojumbo is like, take a couple more.
No, I can't fucking say that because the thing is that I appreciate Death Stranding way too fucking much, and I would actually play it again.
Death Stranding
because
is a
I
game,
think the gameplay is really fun.
Death Stranding is a game that I hate but respect. It is a game that is fine there, and I hate it. And it's not even from
But
the
I do
gameplay.
remember the time where I turned to you after a couple hours, and you're like, "This is actually a lot of fun." And I
the
get
gameplay
that.
loop, the story, I hate it.
Oh
Like,
no, the fucking story is completely
it's
nonsensical.
garbage.
Genius Kojumbo
That's why, like, the part
bullshit.
that I respect is the gameplay part.
Yeah.
The Genius Kojumbo part is the story.
Right, but
Genius Kojumbo is not a genius.
But I also feel like Kojumbo has always been a huge advocate of like using gameplay to push a narrative.
Yes, that was Hideo Kojima. Genius Kojumbo writes a story about hands. Hideo Kojima designs a postmodern game where the whole point is that it's derivative.
And also occasionally creates one of arguably the best mech combat systems of all time.
Hideo Kojima is a genius. Genius Kojumbo writes a story about hands. And Princess Peach and umbilical cords and pee pee poo poo and AMC's The Ride with Norman Reedus.
And he just chills out with Mads Mikkelsen, Troy Baker, and
up until this point,
Norman Reedus.
Genius Kojumbo was there, but he was suppressed. Big Boss would wear a Mountain Dew shirt in the PSP game and fight a Rathalos. Genius Kojumbo, he was there. He's like, I'm friends with Capcom and Jeff Keighley, so Mountain Dew is there. It's just not until Konami would suppress Genius Kojumbo by causing immense depression to Kojima. But when he's free, then it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Then Genius Kojumbo comes out.
You know what this circles back to, which is unfortunate? The crunch conversation. Because essentially, like, you want to talk about a soul-sucking organization of people that have been profiting off of everybody's misery for so long, and they've created genius works because of it. It's everybody on the Konami team within like reason, right? Like no one's gonna fucking turn around and sit there and say like Contra has ever been fucking like the thing like that. But you think about like go to the story of how Silent Hill 1 was made, how that all went down, how the guy had to prove within 12 hours, within like a 24 hours, like you can do all this, you can make everything look the way we want to look, and did so by himself, sleeping in the office. And presented to the Konami team, and they finally relented and said, "Okay."
There was a period of time where you saw a Konami logo, and it was just as impactful as a
Capcom logo,
a Capcom or a Square Enix logo. It was a seal of quality.
Yeah.
And now you have Contra Rogue Core or whatever it was called, and it's got a bear in it, I think. And they mostly make pachinko machines and ports. Oh, it's your reflection. It was in like the rim of the monitor. That's not what it's called, but it looked like it was at the door, and I was like, oh no.
Well,
this is the last podcast.
In that case, yeah, I don't know, man. I guess final news would be, hey, the PS5s are finally getting rolled out.
Hey,
and
the
everybody's
PS5s,
got-
those things are pretty fucking big. Don't know where I'd put one.
So everyone's getting their hands on with the next generation consoles. Surprise, surprise, everyone's very excited. The big takeaway, though, today has been that the DualSense 5, apparently, the haptic feedback is really cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. I turn vibration off in most of my games. So,
I
like,
have multiple controllers with the motors removed.
because, like, well, specifically for shooters, I mean, it really, like, for single player, I'm sure it'll be better. I think that the haptic feedback idea, I like the concept.
Yeah.
They talked about, Skillup was talking about his thing where he was like, you could feel, it's kind of like using the sort of the fucking switch tech in the controllers.
Yeah.
But like
the
to a
3D
higher
motion.
degree. And they said, so like the same thing goes with the adaptive triggers. So there are going to be times where apparently you are, they said in Deathloop, right? So
Yeah.
Deathloop's going to be utilizing the adaptive triggers by jamming your weapon, and your trigger's not going to pull down.
That's cool.
That's cool as shit. I think it's a really cool like conceptually. And the thing to me is like, how many developers are going to do that?
The
And
touchpad
actually
on the
make it.
PS4 controller, 9 times out of 10, is just a bigger select button.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's great. Oh, this got revealed. I don't think I ever got your impression of it. What do you think of the UI for the PS5? I won't say anything yet.
You know what I miss? This might be an unpopular opinion.
I know. I think I know exactly what you're about to say.
You probably heard me say it. That's why.
No. Go ahead.
No, I don't think you do.
Go ahead then.
I like the Xbox 360 Blade system.
Okay, no, that's not what I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say.
What would you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say the XMB. I miss XMB so much. The PS3 one.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
Games
That works.
List. Here they are. Here are your games.
In a folder.
You can put it in a folder if you want, or
Yeah.
guess what? Sort of alphabetically or last played. Do you want Netflix and all that shit? Hit left. There's a video tab. There's a music tab. It's not all a bar that's screaming at you. It's like, do you want to watch Hulu or do you want to get an achievement in Little Big Planet today?
Right.
Sackboy's Big Adventure. Hey, your friend's streaming. You want to watch your friend's stream? You want to get here's a game fac on your homepage. Hit the home button. Where is the demolition game? Oh, it's halfway down the list in between fucking screenshots and Crackle. It's like, is it so much to ask that I hit the home button and it says power controller off, power console off, enter rest mode, main menu, and then you hit main menu and it just gives me a list of video games in an order that isn't psychotic?
Or hey, you turn on from rest and just literally when like that list you said is like, do you want to resume from here or switch to a different game?
I don't love the PS4 UI, but the quick menu,
It works.
it gets the job done. It gives you everything you could possibly need. It's not pretty, but it works.
I kind of like seeing all my games lined up like that. It's like literally, in a sense, it's like kind of like feigning the idea of it being on a case. You know, like you're looking down
Yeah.
a case of like, oh, what do I feel like playing today?
And that's why it's like for the PS4, when I have everything in folders and then I have all those folders in alphabetical order, it's all right. I don't love it, but it's all right. But when I look at stock and it's Sackboy screenshots, Twitch, share menu, PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now, another video game that you own, and then friends part, like it's just total nonsense stream of conscious. Then
I was gonna say mute me for a second because my back's starting to hurt. I've been leaning over this whole time.
It's like I'm sure at the time.
I've been leaning over this whole time. My
Yeah.
bad.
No, you're good. I'm sure at the time I didn't love XMB, but man, using it now, I'm like, by comparison, this is fantastic.
It was clean. It didn't really need to do anything. It did exactly what it set out to do, and it had a lot of options. It had the same amount of options, it feels like, but it just doesn't hit.
It doesn't clutter. It's not just there.
And I don't know if you remember the blade system from the 360. I don't know if
I
you
do.
were,
I
yeah.
do remember the blades. It was nice.
It was nice. It was simple.
Even the next Xbox like UI, the Xbox 360 UI was pretty good.
It was all right. Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
And then like, they fucked something up in the Xbox One, and then fixed it again.
Yeah.
But like the Blade system, I like the Blade system a lot because it felt integrated.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like, you know, it only pulled you away for like the important things. And you're just like, this is nice. I like this a lot. And even then, like, it always just felt like I didn't want the picture-in-picture mode. I just liked the idea that it didn't look like I was shutting off the app entirely. And I was like, no, I just pull up the Blade on the left-hand side. Oh, I got an invite. I just go ahead and accept it. Boom, boom, boom. I'm in the game. And it's like, it doesn't fucking necessarily pull me out of the experience. It's part of it, and it feels next generation. It feels like a really cool, almost like I guess like a cyberpunk UI, where it's just like you're sitting there like, just like the picture-in-picture mode, it seems cool in comparison, but it's like the only time I could ever think of it working would be I'm helping, like I've done this before. It's one of the main reasons why the share play function is really cool.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you're watching your friend trying to get this fucking part, and then you go, fucking just give me the controller.
The difference being is that you use PlayStation Party features.
Yeah.
I use Discord.
Yeah.
That has screen sharing and all that stuff right there. When I'm playing a game, I set myself to offline. I make sure no one knows what games I'm playing before or after I'm done playing them. I sit down and I play the game, and that's it. So the idea that I hit the home button because I maybe want to put the console in rest mode, and immediately it's just fucking like, oh, your friends are playing this, that you could do this level right now. Here's a walkthrough. Here's a tutorial. Here's a video. Do you want it in the corner? This person's playing Destruction Derby. It's a $60 game. Yikes. And like, it's just, I just want to.
Yo, fuck Astro and his dumb playroom.
Yeah.
Destruction Derby should have been the game that came with the PS5.
That being said, it'll be free on PlayStation Plus for a month. So you just claim it. So that's good, but $60 is still a lot of money. And also, I'm sorry, having the guides in game is cool for certain things. I wish developers would just put that as a feature in the game instead of making it as part of the default PS4 UI. Because the idea that I'm playing Little Big Planet and I beat a level and I'm just like, well, what do I do now? Oh, PlayStation told me to go right and click on the next level. Okay. Oh, there's a video. Cool. So he holds right, click, and he hits the X button.
You know why I'm going to be thankful for those? Because it means we're going to avoid a lot of the, hey, YouTube, what's up? It's your boy, Brett, and I'm over here to tell you all about the new Borderlands 3 rifle that you can go ahead and unlock. But before you go ahead and do that, go ahead and smash that fucking like button and give me a subscription.
The difference is now it's Mark Cerny, and he's like, thank you for being a PlayStation Plus subscriber.
No.
With PlayStation Plus this month, you'll be able to get Destruction Derby and some sports game you'll never play. To get the costume in Little Big Planet, wait a second. First, let's make sure your controller's charged. And like, I
don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like the Cerny feature.
As soon as they're like, oh, it'll be spoiler-free tips. I'm like, doesn't matter. If anything happens at any point in time, 500 people message me spoilers.
Can we release this game this month? Did it make Cerny compliance? No?
No.
Then I think it needs to go.
We can't. We had to delay the game because Mark Cerny's not done with his walkthrough yet.
I just stuck at this one part. I don't know. It would help. The developers gave me some.
I tried to use the PS5 help feature, but I'm the PS5 help feature, so it wasn't very helpful.
Mark, you just go forward. No. That's not the Prima strategy guide told me otherwise.
Mark, you wrote that too. That's why there's so many pictures of you in it.
But it's just him holding up the screenshot of the game.
I just imagine it's like a regular strategy guide, but like the old ones when you'd see like CG art of Mario riding Yoshi like a motion blur. It's like Mark Cerny holding a controller, like leaning into the turn.
Are you talking about the unofficial ones?
No, the official ones.
The unofficial guides are my favorite.
Like printed?
Not the Prima guides. I had a Final Fantasy VII unofficial Prima guide, like not guide Prima guide, but like an official guide.
Yeah,
couple hundred pages. That was, it was like Mega Man box art quality art. It was fucking sick, and to this day, I still get mad at myself that I lost it.
Yeah,
because I bought it alongside with my IDOS PC copy of Final Fantasy VII, that required about 7 discs to install, I think.
Yeah, fitting.
And I'm trying to remember. God damn it. Yeah, the numpad was the only way to move. So like you couldn't get controllers to work. The numpad was the so you had to. When I was doing it, it was
so
like
you had the
you
optimal.
hold the 0 and you move 8, 4, 6, and 2.
So you had the optimal Final Fantasy VII experience then, like the way it was meant to be played.
Yeah.
7 discs.
Why do you think I was so fucking like nostalgic about it? Hell yes.
I think playing the shittiest version of something possible builds so much more nostalgia for something than playing it the way it was supposed to be played.
Well, because the point is not shitty to you. It's just normal.
It's just normal.
Because it's like you're like,
But
oh yeah, 7 discs. It's such a long game.
But even if you don't, yeah. But even if you don't realize it, I feel like there's still like a part of your soul that registers like your soul knows that maybe there might be a 3-disc version of this game with a controller.
You know what I love is like going back and adding hours onto games that you didn't think were that long.
Yeah.
Like I always used to think that Final Fantasy VII was such a fucking big game because it was a long game. And then I remembered you could beat that game in like 20 hours, less than that, if you're just fucking straight shooting it.
Yeah.
But like when I was a kid, I was like, I'm never going to beat this game. I have no time. Which is crazy because as a kid, that's all you fucking have. But like, I'm playing 7-hour sessions and going, this game's not fucking over yet?
Well, I remember Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1 feeling like a pretty long game, and now every couple of months I beat it in like 45 minutes. So,
oh my god.
Yeah. Isn't that a thing though? Isn't the passage of time when you're young like slower because space-time is shitty and was not bug tested?
If that's fucking true, that sucks dick.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it
It
is.
should totally be the opposite. Well, no, okay, so it should totally be this. When you hit 15, like it's fast.
Yeah.
0 to 15, you're fine. 16 and up to about, let's say 32. No, let's give it 40.
Sure.
It's that those are the years you spend your time building.
Yeah, at a real crisis to midlife crisis.
Right, and then 41 is when like it kicks back into high gear, and you're just rushing, barreling towards death, like 100%.
Oh, I remember what it is now. It's because everything proportionally, it's like if you've existed for 6 years, then 1 year feels long, but if you've existed for many years, 60 years. Then 1 year is a fucking drop in the bucket. Who gives a shit?
There are songs that still come on the radio that I'm listening to, and I go, "Wow, that feels like yesterday that it dropped." And then someone goes, "That came out in 2011," and I said, "What year is it?" And I say 2020, and I said, "I'm almost 30."
Did you see the tweet?
No. Oh, fuck! Not this shit. Not literally the most perfect encapsulation of the exact feeling we're talking about. I hate this.
It is just you can take your headphones off if you want.
No.
The tweet, it just says what you think Final Fantasy was 20 years ago. And it's like Final Fantasy 6 or 4.
Yeah.
Like it's some really like
it's like
Super Nintendo.
Older.
And it says what Final Fantasy was really 20 years ago, and it's Final Fantasy 10.
Final Fantasy 10 came out, and I was a kid. It was a Friday night. My father was a corrections officer, and one day he did something that was amazing. He came home, and he said, "Son, I've heard you really like this game. I want to know if you want to give it a shot." And he showed up with a blockbuster copy of Final Fantasy 10, and I played that shit very late into the night.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, late in the night meant 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it's late. I should go to sleep so I can wake up for eggs in the morning.
Yeah.
I have like bought several copies of Final Fantasy X and still haven't beaten it because that game is like good to a point. But like the fact that I have this vivid memory of the fucking beginning of Titus, looking at Titus doing the stupid flip and hearing fucking Japanese Power Man 5000 in the background. Go between the dust and the sand and the sky. Just like singing through bit crushed fucking PS2 MIDI audio.
Yep.
And I look back and I see the little shit that was there, and it's not even 5th grade, or barely 5th grade, essentially for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, what the fuck? Because it's like, okay, so FF7's the most important game to me.
Yeah.
But FF10's the one where I turned around and said, this is crazy. Where are video games going to go after this?
Down the shitter.
Down the fucking drain.
Thanks, Genius Kajumbo. You think he made time?
I think he wrote the Bible.
And then do you think he wrote it and then sent it back? Or do you think he was there and he wrote
I think
it and then he
Kojima
did his
is
time?
Stephen Hawking. But not here, but SNT Stephen Hawking.
You think he...
I think that Kojima is SMT Stephen Hawking, and the Stephen Hawking that we had is a creation of his. Because I can't remember the world past when I was born. Who's to say this is real?
Is that why I can't play Scramble? Genius Kajumbo then?
Yeah.
It's him?
Yeah. Because that's your like Cerberus code. P5S. You say that enough times, you turn into the Manchurian Candidate.
The S stands for Cerberus. So.
Ah! If you enjoyed this podcast, go ahead and do us a favor.
I was one play away from being the one to say, if you enjoyed this podcast. I was like, can I make one more move so that I don't have to send us off?
If you enjoyed this podcast, thank you so much. We don't know when the next episode's going to be, but I do think this has been, since the last one of our best ones yet.
It's in theory 21 days from now.
I
think if Cyberpunk comes out in 21 days, we should do a podcast, and if it doesn't, we shouldn't.
Yeah.
The fate. Okay, how about that? But the game has to be good too. If the game's bad, then we're not going to do a podcast.
Oof.
So you better.
What defines that?
So
man?
if I like it. So you guys better go to CD Projekt and say, Gunbate developers, you better don't fucking sleep, because I need a new Hipsters on Purpose podcast right here on twitch.tv/hipstersonpurpose.
Oh my god. Hey everybody, thanks so much for coming out and supporting the streams, and for anybody who's going to be listening either via the YouTube video or the inevitable, I really want to put this somewhere where people can listen to it. I heard Spotify is actually not that hard to add on to. We'll see what happens. I definitely want to start. I'm not kidding. This will be the real season 2 delayed episode.
Yeah. I was going to say the one in 21 days will be the season 2 premiere.
Yeah.
And this was the this was the Japanese trailer that shows you the entire plot that you really didn't want to see because you didn't want to get spoiled, but it said like release trailer, but it was the whole fucking thing.
I steered very clear from that FF7 remake trailer, and a part of me kind of wishes I didn't. But anyways, when's the next one coming out? Honestly, every time we let these gestate for like 2 to 3 months, we come out with fucking bangers.
Yeah,
so who
maybe
knows?
a biannual podcast might be the play.
Yeah, I think that this is like prime content as far as like hipster content can be called. I guess let's talk about what the plans for the channel. I'm going to stream at some point this week for the scary games, maybe more fast. I want to do a Phasmophobia community night at some point. But other than that, I don't think I have a scary game to play. Like I said before, unfortunately, October really snuck up on me. I have a lot of bills I gotta pay. I have a lot of things I still have to pay and do. I'm very close to finally being able to breathe again, but it requires me to really put my nose to the grindstone and be working for the next couple of days. And also, Very upset now because here's the other thing. I put time off for Cyberpunk, so now I have to go and resend that and be like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to play a video game."
Yeah, I'll tell you what. How about you save the time off for whenever this account makes another tweet. I'll give you just send them the Twitter account and be like, yeah, man, I don't know, 20 days from now, let's see.
You just give me one PTO to just like to this day right here. You know,
it's like a blank check.
Other than that, I had a bunch of playthroughs I was planning on that completely got fucking derailed because of these crazy fucking shenanigans. But thankfully, due to some, like I said, due to some donations, they were able to help me out and finally get even on owing people money that I don't want to owe anymore, and finally just done. Yeah, we'll see. Wasteland 3 was in the works. That was a fun stream for about an hour that it was there, and then I got cucked into a terrible Among Us play session, and then I got immediately called out for it because they were mad that I talked about it on stream, even though they look like idiots. Shout out to Lanchi and Coda. I love you guys. But seriously, that session fucking sucked, and y'all know why.
I don't know. All I can promise is that we're not playing any more Crash 4. That's done.
Hey!
No more of that. I mentioned wanting to just pick a console and just going through a bunch of weird shit, having another one of those one-off streams. I think I'm going to go with the PS2 again, because gosh darn it, that PS2 sure had some games on it. So
there is one stream that I think I'm going to be trying to work on. And that is one that I want Max to be there for, but he says he's considering not, because he wants to experience it himself.
Oh yeah.
But the reason I want him there is because I really want to Zaibatsu it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask Tolly and Pat to come over, and I want to do a full playthrough of all four of us.
I'm so out on that shit. Oh my god, I can't believe.
Why?
Oh my, no way.
Why?
No.
Why?
Dude, I want to play that game on my own.
I know you do.
I for sure don't want to play it with 3 other people. Oh my god. And then you got to coordinate schedules, you got to wait. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Look forward to the 3-man playthrough of that game.
It's going to be fun.
I'll be in my room.
I just figured it'd be perfect because it was like we just play it for one stint and then come back, and I'm not gonna be like super like on board for like the whole thing unless it really is something where we actually really enjoy it. But like I was already playing Persona 4 with them, which is basically just a visual novel. Yeah, and it was pretty funny. So I was like, "You guys just want to come over for some more streams like we did for Resident Evil 2?"
I'd want to do more, just not that one.
Well, we got to think of another game that you want to join in on then.
Yeah.
Because
I'll find something. I'll dig some stuff up.
Yeah, because
you know what? Maybe Weeboo Power Hour be more fun with friends. That also have to deal with it.
It's just funny to me because the dynamic is literally all there.
Yeah.
It's like we could just physically steal it because it just exists in that 4-person setup.
Yeah.
Because we already have a Pat. Dead ass, we already have a Pat. His name is Pat.
Is it too on the nose? Should he?
I don't know. He can't. His name is really Pat.
He's gonna have to change.
We can't call him Rick.
Yeah.
No. All right, guys. Go take a nap. Is that our send off?
No, it's not.
Do we have a send-off?
No, we don't. We kind of awkwardly stumble, and then usually I cut the stream off midway through someone's sentence.
So anime girls saying the N-word.